Hi, I'm Steph, otherwise known as TJ Squeakerson, the Hastoki Envoy and Captain of the Orion's Hope, and you're listening to the Dragonborn Industries Starfinder podcast.
So we begin.
Hello.
Everyone with a mouthful of food and working out that after a while those crisps get hot.
They're quite hot.
So we're like working our way through What's Its Crunch, which are, it's going to sound awful, flaming hot. Which I know that me and Tamsin eat a lot of spicy food and we're fine, but like after a while, yeah, or a big mouthful of them, that gets you, right?
Yeah, it's a nice warm heat. Nice tang.
Nice.
Gonna regret it later.
So I'm actually, for anybody who's watching live and for anybody who is here with us and moderators and stuff like that, I'm actually going to bring up the music in early because I had to change some of the settings earlier because good old changing things every day. So just let us know if the music's too loud while we do our intros and stuff like that. Otherwise, welcome to episode 66. Starfinder.
Episode 66.
Which, you know, 3 away from the nice episode, but we are at episode 66. I think it's quite fun for all you Star Wars fans out there. Otherwise, I see you there, chat. I see you there, James. We are down, podcast listeners. Alex is still on his hollybobs, and James is down and away this week and next. So we're down to our 3 players, but 3 of the core cast from the OG. Which, let's just get back to basics, guys. Let's just, you know, roll some dice and see if we can kill off more OG characters.
I mean, Pez isn't here.
That's the thing. You know the rules. If he's not here, James's character has to die.
So, Pez will be in every door. But I see you there in chat. Obviously, like, just let us know if there's anything Pez would do. Just put it up there for us or put it into Discord. And you guys can keep an eye on that because apparently I don't get Discord messages until 4 weeks later. But we are, so we're down to 3 players tonight, but we're going to carry on because we're at a nice little crucible, I feel, of the campaign. But before we continue with that, let's do some corporate shilling.
Yes.
Miss Renshaw.
I'm really sorry. I've just got to step out for 2 seconds. I'll be right back. I'm so sorry. Talk amongst yourselves.
This corporate shill is not presented to you by
Steph, so I guess I'll do the advert. Do you want to do the advert?
I don't know.
Tamsin, do you want to do the advert?
I'm not really sure what's going on.
Attempt to do Warrior Prince all through Warrior Prince 3D.
I think he has a printer.
Quill.
Oh, my bear.
Quill. What's going on here then? The name's Poach. DCI. Jean. Jean. Poach. And this is my kid.
Uh-huh.
And I've been hearing through the stars that I have been the victim of some identity theft. And I'm here to tell you and set the record straight that this erasure of women in STEM will not stand. Okay, I'm a single mother trying to work her way through the stars. And I've had it up to here, let me tell you, because this mustachioed man has been going around spreading misinformation. Because let me tell you, if there's one thing that I love, it's Warrior Prince 3D. You can find them at www.warriorprince3d.etsy.com. And he's been going around telling you can get 10% off using the code to the stars. False. Wrong. You can actually get 15% off using the code to the stars. And I'll tell you another thing that he's omitted in his charade. You can also get an exclusive and very lovely Starfinder badge if you spend over £20 in your basket. Now tell me, why is he not being spitting that about, eh?
I couldn't tell you.
Conspiracies, aye. So I'm here just to let you know that I, the real DCI Jean Poach, I'm setting it straight. 15% to the stars, Warrior Prince 3D, and a Starfinder badge if you drop 20 quid.
What more do you want?
What more do you want? I tell you what I want. Husband to come back from the war. There we go.
Oh my fucking god.
Guys, I just had to take that call.
Oh,
my God,
sorry.
identity
No worries, yeah.
theft.
There was identity there.
You just missed someone. Yeah.
Oh my! I just
The
missed all
real
the guests.
Gene post.
Shut the front door.
The actual Gene post.
Well, I bet whoever they were a fox. So,
Sexy lady they were.
wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Who'd have thought it, eh? I bet they came in with some really class information.
I mean,
They certainly did.
lies from who we thought were Gene Poach, but real Gene Poach.
Can't trust anyone these days.
15% off.
There's so many questions.
Drift debrief.
Yeah, we'll save that for the drift debrief. Thanks, DCI Gene Poach, for the advert. Steph, I'm sorry that you missed them.
I'm used to it now. Always on the outside, always looking in.
There it is. Well,
I mean, 20 quid alone, that's worth it for the Starfinder badge.
just drop 20 quid. I don't know why that got me, but that really did.
Good badge.
Yeah. And it's going to be printed by Richard instead of me, so even better quality. Whereas the ones that we did when we did our little giveaways were all done by me, but Richard's going to be doing these next ones. To which end, please do go check out Warrior Prince 3D and go throw them some money because they make some incredible things. If you've been seeing our socials this week, you'll have seen the Kyoka and the mech that they printed for us, that these guys know is an upcoming fight, that these guys know is something they have to encounter, and we are finally at the point where we are, releasing that to you. And so check out those prints, check out Warrior Prince 3D and use that code TUNERSTAR to get 15% off. Otherwise, you can head over to rollandplaypress.com and get your hands on some handy toolkits that'll help you behind your screen to save time and space, from names to taverns in your fantasy games to ship names and other events and also encounters within both fantasy and sci-fi. They are fantastic books that you can use behind your screen. We have a code Dragonborn 10 you can use on their website to get 10% off your orders, and it lets you know that you've come from us. I'm going to throw it over to Jack to tell us about Twitch and Twitch Prime.
Twitch and Twitch Prime. So if you have an Amazon Prime account, it means that you can give a free subscription to any account on Twitch of your choosing. And if you're already here, you may as well sub to us because it helps support us moving forward, and it just shows us that you really like our content and you want to keep following it. So please do. So if you click on subscribe, you should have a little tick box that says you use Prime sub, and it'll make it free. Gives us a little bit of money at the end of the month. Just helps us get along. But if you want something else for your money, you want something physical, you can have a bit of merch from the merch store at dragonbornindustries.com to get some lovely t-shirts and some lovely mugs that we've got here, all sorts of stuff. I'm sure we'll be making more and more as time goes on. So if you want something for a bit for your money and also supporting us at the same time, go there at dragonbornindustries.com.
Thank you very much, Jack.
Hello.
My wonderful friend. Just on the Twitch membership, on the Twitch Prime subscriptions, by the way, as well, it won't work on the mobile app because Twitch's mobile app is not great. The user interface is kind of pants.
It is a bit garbage.
So just fire up your old wind-up computer and crank computer, your chess playing machines, and go across to their actual website, and you'll be able to do it from there. Yeah. I know it's a bit of a faff, but it does help us out. Otherwise, you can actually go across to YouTube and sign up for YouTube members, where you get things like our pre-campaign interviews, which are now all released. All of them are up there. There will be extra little shorts. We're going to do some extra content hopefully this week for it as well. But you can also sign up to our membership on YouTube, as well as we push towards 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Just go across and hit subscribe, because why not? Otherwise, I think that's everything for announcements this week. I don't think there's anything else.
We are at Happy Piranha this week for Let's Play D&D. I'm also there for Gals and Pals this week, which I believe has one space left. So if you want to come play D&D with us, happypiranha.com/events is where you want to head. And then in May, I've also got my charity event for Gals and Pals, which is a slumber party. There are some spaces for one of the TTRPGs left in the afternoon and plenty left for the party. Come play and also raise some money for a local women's charity.
You absolutely should, if you are in Cornwall, going on to that.
Or if you're not, come for a weekend.
There you go.
Indeed.
Otherwise, I think that's now everything for announcements. I always forget one during the week. So to which end then, let's jump into... let's execute episode 66. That's it. The whole episode is 14 days of
14 days of Bruce daycare.
Can you ascertain that this child is yours and it's the same one that you dropped off to Galatron? I'm pretty sure it's the credentials of the receipt is in my other trousers. I might have to go find it.
Galatron would like 5 stars on Yelp.
Or else you don't get the child back. Hold them to ransom. After finding a living hologram in the penthouse office of Dynatech Industries CEO Nimbus Dine, the crew do battle with this living hologram that is in the image of the professor. They conduct a sweep of the room after discovering that the computers and servers in here are an extraordinarily high security, and in doing so discover a hidden cubby in the sleek walls that contain the high-quality made bodies in the same image of the professor across his many ages, from birth to the most recent images of him being a bit more of a frailer old man. The stewards investigator, Jack Dorr, calls for the stewards to come in and try to hack the computers while the crew have the chance to leave Dynatech and get some much-needed rest, and plan to speak with Dr. Grin the next day to see what information they may be able to pry from this individual previously on company payroll. We begin by looking at a flashback throughout the night of Kaz. What would we see as we go back to, wherever you choose to spend your evening? Like, how does Kaz look now? How does he spend this first chance of a rest in a couple of days proper? Yeah.
So I think he went back to the ship, if I remember correctly. I think he's just trying to relax as much as he can right now. But in terms of looks, he's still wearing his newly found trench coat, which he's quite growing into. But I think his armour now is looking kind of like this sort of sleek, form-fitting, kind of segmented plated armour kind of thing. And it is it's fairly thick armour. But it even covers like the hands, so it almost makes it looks his hands like sort of android, mechanical-like almost. But I think he's, at the moment, stripped some of that armour off and just trying to sort of get out of the joints and kind of stretch them out a little bit. But other than that, I think he's probably drawing up some blueprint plans for the ship and just sort of going over a few things that it could probably improve and progress on whenever he gets more time to do so. And he's actually grown to not using his goggles as much. Wow. He still wears them around his neck loose, but when he's doing engineering stuff, he'll put them on. But for now, I think he's full gone them.
And how messed up are his eyes still?
Fairly messed up. They're quite pale. Like if you looked at him from across the street, you'd be like, "That guy's blind." You can see it's just cloudy. He's blind, that one. But you can see there are like.
Where's his stick?
Are you really blind, mate? Oh.
But he's only got a few scars over the eyes, a little bit, just from old wounds. Yeah.
Yeah, and I suppose we see. Are you fitting that dermal plating as well?
If he has time to, yes.
Absolutely. Throughout that night, you can absolutely add that augmentation to your character sheet. As you can add this dermal plating to yourself, and we see, Kaz, as we now see him a lot more relaxed than we saw him at the very start of this campaign, where everything was closed up and he was very shut. Now we're starting to see him, especially in the safety now of a ship, your ship, the Hope. That, we see this relaxed Strix male, this wingless Strix male, just free to do what they need to do. Sylph, as we fade out on maybe, them working on their augmentations and whatnot, and we move into the Arcana Miriam, where you said you were going to go back to, what would we see throughout the night?
So I think when Sylph gets back, the first thing she is going to do is she's going to take a very long and very hot shower. It is like an incredibly hot.
Does she face in around?
She rotisserie is like a chicken.
Slowly.
Yeah.
Sometimes she does the business.
Just stands there and thinks.
Good call,
And I think, out of the hair, she in this wet form, it doesn't sort of blur out into mist, and it becomes almost like normal hair. But as she's washing it out, there's bits of blood that are just sort of dried that she's washing out, and she spends a long time going through like a beauty routine. And she's taken off her goggles by this point, so it is those solid black eyes. And the room that she's in is a very, very dim lit room. There's only maybe 1 or 2 sources of light, and they're very low lux power. It's just a very dim and a very calm and a very dark room. But she has no problem seeing, because she's fine in very dark, dim light. And she spends her time just hair up, doing a lot of effort to sort of moisturize, keep herself looking young. And then she sits down. And as she sits down, she's sitting in like a relatively skimpy but lace outfit, because she's going to sleep, so she's not going to be wearing heavy armor. But over
that's a problem.
Exactly. So, but on her chest there's, because you won't have seen it with the dresses before, but there'll be the 3 circles tattoo that will be over where her heart would be. And she just sits down and she starts typing out into a personal log what's happened, what she's seen, her own sort of theories on things, and she starts just trying to do some research. But then she probably gets quite tired partway through. Her nails haven't quite dried properly, so she just sits back, watches some trash TV, and then just has her nails out, letting them dry, and then kicks back, relax, turns the last of the light out, and has a chill evening.
Does she watch Absalom's Top Model?
Absalom Drag Race. She loves it.
Fair enough. And I think as we watch this, like, amazingly beautiful fae, the shadow fae being, making sure that they're comfortable and at home, and going back to this kind of like, washing the blood out of the previous 12 hours. And I sort of like, I imagine like in that darkness when you're not wearing those glasses that like stop you from, suffering in sunlight and bright lights. I like, like in Chronicles of Riddick when you see like those like Purian eyes for the first time, and they're like almost glow like Panther's eyes in the night. I imagine there's like a slight hint of that to it.
There probably is like a level of sort of like, it's similar to what you might see in the Drift.
Yeah.
Or if the Shadow Plane, from where she is from, would be something reflecting of that.
Yeah, that's very, very cool. I like that. And I think as you guys turn off the lights, it's like a dimmer switch, and they these final things, this final like power down of the lights in your room to go into this darkness that you love. And we come across to TJ.
Yes. Most likely back at the Law Spire complex in Linda's apartment. I think hanging up, ready to be cleaned, is this jet black suit with inbuilt like resin plates, barely perceptible because it's meant to look like a suit more than armor, but if you looked carefully you could see the kind of the chest plating, and key areas that are covered, stained with blood and ready to be cleaned. I think TJ has showered, he's cleaned off the muck and the grime.
Which way does he face?
Sorry?
Which way does he face in the shower?
Oh, he curls up in a little fetal position at the bottom.
That's my guy!
Yeah.
Cast in the shower, he's covered in.
He's like, I'm fine.
Normal, mate.
But TJ, I think, is stood in front of the bathroom mirror and has some clippers, and he's just clipping away at his hair a little bit to make an indent to give the appearance of a mustache. Think Nick Offerman in Parks and Rec, kind of the nice big bushy mustache, as he kind of like has his data pad on the side of the sink and is kind of playing through footage from the last couple of days and kind of pausing occasionally to kind of screen grab and take bits for editing, and as the sandy fur kind of falls away into the sink, he sort of looks at himself, not quite as bright-eyed as he maybe once was, but there is more of a steely determination than ever before.
And I think we see this steely determination. We see him with this like full mustache on top of this fur, and as we then watch some more of those hairs fall away, they almost like fall down in front of the screen like a curtain, in fact. And it changes the scene to that of feathers falling. And we see this like bright plumage of an Aspraxa stood in front of a large load-lifting machine with a goblin child cradled on the inside of it. It looks like it's trying to get out, but it's being held there as they clearly look around their pockets for something. We then switch the scene again as like they go in and the screen swipes across, and we see a goblin returning home to nobody.
Oh.
And they just stand in the middle of the doorway as Fireball. We may have played together at the right amount of time now. As we arrive now at the dawn of a new day. It's cool, we're just on a quiet bit of the music. I was like, trying to make sure we got some music for this. Now it is. And wherever you are in the morning as you come to get breakfast, I think you see the infosphere has many new reports being broadcast live. A dynasty falls. You see, as you all start logging onto the news with all your data pads, your comm units and whatnot, a clean, modern news interface. The screen shows a rotating 3D logo of the Dynatech Industries, but it's fracturing apart mid-spin into static. A ticker scrolls at the bottom of the screen with live updates, and the anchor, a very composed Lashunta that says, with a name plate that says Virashan, with this short brown hair and elegant antenna with blue tips, beautifully faced but with a stoic demeanor, addresses the camera with gravitas. Good cycle to our viewers across the Pact Worlds. In a stunning development that has shaken the corporate and political sectors alike, the stewards have issued an arrest warrant for Professor Nimbus Dine, CEO and founder of Dynatech Industries. B-roll footage begins to play. A towering hollow ad of Dynatech's logo flickers on the side of a skyscraper in Absalom Station, abruptly replaced by a bright red, temporarily shut down by order of the steward's notice. Virashan continues. Dynatech, long considered a cornerstone of the interstellar tech advancement and one of the Pact's most influential megacorporations, has been ordered to cease all transactions and operations immediately, pending a full investigation. The stewards have not released specifics regarding the charges, but in a formal statement they have cited actions and conduct that place the Pact at risk. A still image of Professor Nimbus Dine, an older human male in an elegant silver weave lab coat and a blue two-piece suit under it, smiling as he unveils a new research initiative. The photo is now stamped with a bold "Wanted" graphic in red, with the steward symbol in the corner. Known for his visionary mind and non-public persona, Professor Dine has not been seen since way before the warrant's announcement. Multiple sources report heightened security around Dynatech facilities in the Diaspora, Verces, Castrovel, and many other planets in the system, as well as here on Absalom Station. The stewards have not confirmed whether Dine is considered dangerous, but internal sources suggest an interstellar manhunt is already underway. Stock for Dynatech has plummeted 37% in just the last hour, and Pact trade regulators are issuing emergency freezes on Dynatech-related assets galaxy-wide. We'll continue to follow this developing story, but now all eyes are on the stewards and the silence echoing from one of the galaxy's loudest innovators. The tickers at the bottom keep changing between breaking. Stewards freeze Dynet accounts. Galactic markets reel from corporate shutdown. Where is Nimbus Dine? Hollow trends stopped. Topic and trend on the infosphere. And stewards caution public, do not engage suspect. As we return to our individual characters, a comm chimes up on your individual datapads. Crew of the Hope. A communication has come back to the Law Spire from Derazde Absuli on Demalco. Come to the Law Spire when you can. Looks like they have found something and are in need of help. It appears it may be time to take Titan Leviathan for a ride. Chiskisk. I hand over to you, the players, as you get a comm from Pez. Not feeling it today, guys.
Fourth strike, Pez. I'm going to also respond to Pez and just be like, hope you feel better soon. be prepared to switch tactics on playing market.
Understood. But I can't keep any food in. Place is a wreck.
Both ends.
Firing out both ends. Trying to stick spare. I'll catch up with you later. Roos is like, look, I've not seen my kid in 12 hours. I hope you don't mind me missing out on the morning's doohickeys, but I...
It's fine. Roos, you've got different priorities now, buddy.
But you would be with Roos, because Roos would go back to the ship.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And, like, Wiley's all over it, like, pulling out his fucking feathers, and it's just like...
Looks like you're preoccupied there, Roos.
Yep, think I may have been enough more than I could chew.
I could have told you that, buddy.
Why didn't you?
I did.
I don't remember that. Have you tried saying it louder?
You just chose not to listen there.
Well, you know what they say.
What do they say?
The voice of the few is often not heard by the ears of the few.
Yeah.
Stunning.
I don't think I've heard that one before, but you know what? That's
Yeah, it's a popular saying back on.
okay. I'll take your word for it.
Anyway, off you foot.
Yeah. Walk out the ship.
You're in space, by the way.
You've just had enough of Wiley, you're like, I'm out.
I don't even remember which docking bay you're in at this point. I think you were like in the ring. I think you was like 47 or something like that. At this point, it doesn't matter. I'm going to kill you all anyway.
Yay!
But I hand over to you guys. Where would you like to meet and where would you like to go first?
I'm already in the Law Spy.
I guess
Probably me to the Law Spy.
Do you want to come over for breakfast?
Yeah, I'm on my way.
We've made croissants.
Who's made croissants?
TJ.
Okay.
Obviously TJ.
Don't mind a tricky pig. I don't have to roleplay that.
Ah, mon joy.
Good like a croissant, eh?
I'll be at least 45 minutes.
It's just enough time for them to bake and for the jam to finish curing.
I like to think that Sylph just opens her cupboard and it's just a load of identical black dresses. Which one?
Oh my god, it's the Spice Girls thing.
dress?
The little Gucci dress?
Yeah.
Or the little Gucci dress.
Spice World was such a film. I don't care what anybody says.
Iconic.
Meatloaf is the bus driver.
I always forget that.
I don't.
She goes for the sleek Gucci black dress.
Very nice, good choice.
And the accompanying hat.
I don't know, Kip. I'm not a fan of the law as you are. So,
I'll meet you in your room.
Hello! Good morning, Carl.
Hello, welcome.
Croissant.
Yeah, I'll take croissant.
Okay. There's jam. We've got butter. There's chocolate spread. We've just got on a cafetiere.
I'll have all of the above.
Help yourself, please.
Thank you.
is Sylph going over there as well?
Oh yeah, no, I'm waiting for my time that I'd take.
No, that's fine. We can say that.
Taxi.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You guys can all.
Hello!
Hello.
Welcome in. Please do help yourself to beverages and foods.
These croissants are really good.
Thank you.
I'm going to take you up and talking with your mouth full, but actually, a very good roleplay.
He's kidding. TJ's wearing like a little apron that says you may kiss the cook.
Do we have to do that?
C-U-C-K.
Yes.
Must we kiss you?
No, this is these lips are for Linda only.
That makes sense. That's great. Thank God for that.
Just not my type, Kaz.
Well, you know, we're tech bros.
We are tech bros. We don't lock lips.
No.
We hack computers.
That's it. That's the phrase.
We hack chips. Thank you, AI voice.
And that's my eye.
We paid for the upgrade.
You sound very confused.
You got the upgrade.
No, it's bullshit.
Yeah, it's just a little bit more put together. Hey, Cash!
Oh, I forgot about this.
I'm so sorry. This one is different.
Let's make this one snappy, sure.
Yeah, sure.
So what can I get you?
You could just be quiet for a little bit. Why don't you have a nap?
Actually, not a problem.
There we go. Cool. Right, mute. Mute. Send a message. Linda, the AI's broken again.
Oh, you have to wake it up. It can't activate when it's asleep. It's in sleep mode.
AI, wake up!
Oh, hey, how's you going? Morning, guys.
AI, silent sleep. Good, okay. I always forget the silent
That's
bit.
the cheat code. Thank you.
Yeah.
I remember why I don't stay in this place now.
It's not too bad. As long as you pay for the upgrade, it's fine. So Doris Day back on the scene.
Doris Day.
I just prefer calling him Doris Day. I know he's Doris, but you know.
Doris.
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 Who is this individual?
Oh, that's
Well,
right. You haven't met-
Lady Syl, let me show you with this helpful Abstagram short that I've made about our time on the planet Avon. And I will show
I'll give it a like and a follow.
Thanks, babe.
I won't follow up.
Yes! Yeah, TJ's got like the equivalent of YouTube now, I guess.
Space tube.
Space tube.
Spoontube.
SpoonTube, 1 follower.
Aliens. Yes, we are literally. It's literally aliens.
So we used to have a crew member named Skeleton, and they had a friend called Doris Day, and they were searching for the orbs in the first place. Which is how we came on to this whole mission, I suppose. And now I think Doris Day went back to Damalco, and now I'm assuming everyone got the same message.
Yep.
Clearly need a help.
Again.
If it's anything like the shit we saw in that temple, it's big.
Yeah, it's real big.
It's big. What is it?
It's this! And I'm sure another clip.
And I think in the clip, what you see is from the temple on Kashoria, which you haven't seen, is this moment where there is this like cloud in the sky, and it looks like there's like a beating wing in it and like some kind of claw, and like as something swoops, and you see this Decimar scrunch their base up, and all of a sudden through the ground this colossal kaiju of a monster begins to pull itself up through the monastery and through the very ground, and you see like it doesn't seem to end. It's like watching like Cloverfield footage of just this thing's like and roaring in this like almost horrid sub base, and you can't tell how tall it is, but it's over 100 foot tall. You can give me a culture check.
It's an 8. Woo!
It big.
I told you, it's big.
That is a fascinating creature.
Yes.
When Earth was this?
This was in Kashoria, in a temple of Desna. This isn't actually the actual thing. This was a manifestation of the thing that's on Damalco, and the Guardian Orbs have been fending them off for quite some time.
Yeah.
It's not called a cloaca, which is what I always want to call it.
Kyoka.
It's gonna be hard not to think about that.
You're welcome.
I see. So there's multiple of these creatures on Damalco.
Yes.
Unfortunately, yes.
What are they aligned with?
I mean,
Your
maybe
guess is as good as ours.
dark shit.
And these are orbs that keep them away.
Well,
To an
they
extent.
did at one point, but now because they've been spread across the galaxy, I don't think they're quite keeping them away now.
I see.
Which is why Doris Day and Skeleton were looking for them.
To bring the orbs back to Damalco. I see.
So
That does explain about the last end of the message.
Yep.
yes, indeed. So we may end up having some sort of fight with them.
But we've got a gifted mech for that, so
Yes.
They do seem rather fun, actually.
just.
I am fascinated by where they come from.
Well, didn't they come from the planet itself? Didn't they birth from the planet? Like pulled themselves up
Like
from
the planet was an egg in itself.
No, it wasn't quite in the egg because that was the Acturn one.
Yes, that was.
But it wasn't it like dried up oceans or something and pulled themselves up from it. I don't know.
That's
Some.
vaguely.
You can give me a recall knowledge check from what you learned.
Let's do it.
Unfortunately, you will have to abstain from this one, Sylph,
No,
because you weren't there.
It's a natural one.
14.
14, a natural one. So these things are friends of the planet, and
the Friends Alliance.
yeah, basically they're just tilling the soil. 14, I think, is more than enough to remember that. Obviously, these things, there was a thing called the Awakening, where the planet was very lustrous. It was verdant, it was beautiful, and the Demai, along with many other races, lived on that planet in harmony with it and were just a regular, thriving race. And shortly after Gap, something happened, and the oceans dried up, the soil began to crack, the crust opened up, and these colossi, these Kyokas, began emerging from the planet, and they just started laying waste to it. They have this innate sense to find masses of people. So if there are like large groups, they just seem to know where they are, and they hone in on them, and they attempt to destroy them. Otherwise, the only other thing that you remember is that the Guardian Orbs have this emotive response with them, and it's not like mind control like you've seen with what you now know to be the keystone that you've got, but they can affect the Kyoka enough that you can make them go, oh, actually, you've satiated enough, or you've done what you need to do, and you now need to go in the other direction. And there is this emotive response to the Guardian Orbs, and this is what the Demai people have used in very small numbers to try and keep the colonies alive, to keep them off their back. Would you like me to keep going while you're still eating?
No, but I relay.
Maybe they're like a system. Maybe they're intentionally created post-Gap to create chaos, create destruction in order to bring rebirth.
We've also got the concern that certain geneticists are trying to emulate that sort of evolution, or fucking around with things they shouldn't be fucking around with.
It would be quite bad if they got hold of one of these.
Wouldn't it just?
They are quite powerful looking.
Yeah, Kaz got stomped on by one.
I did. It
bad.
was not pleasant, I tell you that.
Need to work on those muscles.
He's doing great.
I don't think any amount of workout could have helped with that one.
Well, it's a good thing we've got a mech.
And well, yes, indeed.
Hello.
So yeah, that's something to really look forward to.
Do you know what? Genuinely, I'm quite excited.
Good for you, Lady Syl.
I
Someone has to
love
be.
these curious fascinations that come from the dark.
Do you know what? I know a little bug boy who kind of would feel the same, but in a different vein, I feel. So you sticking around with us for a while?
Your goals may align with mine. I have certain things that I'm looking for or want, and your travels may bring it up.
Oh, well, you're very welcome.
Only if that's all right with you. I genuinely am curious about these creatures and many other things your crew seems to get involved with.
Well, you certainly do get involved with quite a lot of things.
If you'll have me on your crew, of course.
I'll be glad of the help.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Wonderful indeed.
Wonderful. Well, do you think we should go and see and
What?
Just and find out a bit more? I'm sorry, I trimmed the stash last night. I've got hair still falling in a little bit. It's yeah, a bit tickly.
It's a good look on you, actually.
Thank you. I thought I'd try something different, shake it up a bit. But enough about my mustache. We should probably go and see Tiscus and find out what Darius wants.
Yeah, I suppose. We need to know exactly what they actually need help with.
Yeah.
Or whether it's just fending the Kyokas off, or whether it's something a bit more in depth.
Do you feel you can trust this individual?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Darius Day's fine. He's a bit of a pancake, but he's fine.
To some extent.
Cake?
Oh, that's a crepe.
Oh,
There's a key difference.
Okay. Rolls off.
I wouldn't say I trust Darius Day implicitly, but there is a level of trust there that I'm okay with.
Because it sounds like they may be requesting these orbs, and just from how I've observed these orbs and how they seem to have been used so far, it seems giving such magical items of great power into someone's hands alone maybe somewhat risky.
Yep.
Yes, it certainly is.
Though he didn't stop us taking Roy.
No. Yep.
I think he was more interested in the fact that there was gaps, wasn't there? As he and Skelker were both a little confused as to why there was no information whatsoever on the orbs in the Starfinder database. And I believe Chiskus was also concerned about that, and that there'd been a bit of a data breach, which might have been, in hindsight, Nosferatu. Neroflobadobes. The AI lich.
Nerofira.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Could also have been Xano. She did have some level of access.
All the way to the core of the spire, though?
We don't know for sure.
We don't know, but regardless, we should probably find out what they want and go from there.
Yeah, okay. Let's do that.
Cool. Please help yourself to pastries on the way out. Take them with you.
Take one as I go as my little travel snack.
Give them each a little sack lunch that I've prepared as well. It's got the name written on it. Pez's goes in the bin.
You've gone to such effort here, TJ.
Well, you know, I enjoy playing host.
Fair enough.
I've been up since 4.
Do you need some sleep?
No, I'm fine. Listen, it's inbuilt in me that I just really like to do stuff.
What would happen if you stop?
Panic.
I see.
Yeah, it's already setting in. We gotta go now.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't like it.
No.
Always gotta go. Come on.
Yep, all right, let's go.
You make your way out of TJ's apartment here in the Lawspire complex and begin to head to the elevators and make your way to the officers here within the Lawspire complex. And you know that you're looking for Chiskisk, this Shirin who has been working with you on previous missions, but also with the lead up to the elections, and pretty much is your officer contact here within the Starfinders. They were the ones that contacted you, and it's quite easy to find their office. You find this Shirin who is quite ornately dressed with this headdress that comes out to the sides, and they have these like jangling, they're like earrings or like charms that hang off this long it is a headdress really across this like chitinous skull, and they have this hollow emitter that projects a Starfinder badge from their forehead that hovers just above them, and they wear basically this office attire. They're not in armor or anything like that. They literally work in an office here.
Good morning, Starfinders. It is good to see you again. I'm glad that you got my message this morning. Please come on in.
And you head into the office, and there is this. There are items all around the room that you can tell. Well, actually, give me a culture check. Everybody can do such things.
It's a 7.
7? That's a low one for you.
+5 is all I've got.
21.
18.
Yeah, I think for you guys, Kaz, you're like, Shirins aren't my thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if it's not Drow, if it's not Strix, I don't care.
Oh.
Does it bleed? Can I kill it? For you guys, you notice that there are different objects around the room that are like, you're not sure if they're artifacts, pieces of art, but they are all Shirin in nature. There are a few of these statues that also have like hanging, dangling bits on them. There are other ones that are like busts or made of the chitinous carapace of something that you don't think is Shirin, but is something else that is also bug-like. And you can tell that this has been fitted by them with their own personal effects. They sit behind a desk, which is pretty standard from the things that you've seen around. You know, it's not as ornate as some of the ones that you've seen in Dynatech. It's not as high-tech as other ones, but it certainly does the job. You can see that there is a screen on the far left wall from the, might be right to you, left to them, far wall, and it currently just has an image of the Starfinder logo on it. As you enter the room, like,
good. We have had a communique from Dersday Absolian. We are to, he has asked to speak with your crew. I am to re-establish communications once you are here, when you are ready.
Ooh, yeah.
Alright, get him on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's a phone?
Some old school classic device.
Classic tech.
We moved on since then.
Just hands you this device. It's got like a rotary set of numbers.
What do you do with him?
We just want to see what you do with it.
He just like puts all his fingers on it. I can't move it.
It's a wheel.
It's a wheel. How do I get in?
This would be great on TikTok.
What's your croissant, by the way?
Excellent, thank you.
And all this as well.
Just even eat a croissant.
So you
I just imagine them like that. She's like,
actually, yes, that happens. So they have this like long mouth, and they have teeth that are sideways, and you've not really seen it before because they talk to you in your minds. They have this. Shirans have a naturally telepathic ability to talk to you that way, and they are. That is their main method of communication. They can vocalize, but they choose usually to do it telepathically. And as they're talking to you, they're like, thank you. And you watch these like, this bug mouth take it in like that.
I love it.
They press a few buttons and you can see that a comm starts to leave from this building and it connects. And you see the smiling face, a little filthy and hair a little messed up, of a tall Demai male. They have a somewhat brooding face, but they have that like corner smile that you've got used to. They have this like intense look in their eyes. They have this grey-blue hair that's cut really short at the sides, but it's kind of like extra messy on top. And whereas before it was kind of like permanent bed hair, now you can see that they have been obviously busy and not had time to really look after themselves, but are alive and smiling. They wear a simple dark blue and green like two-piece outfit that you can see like the base is some base of like light armor, and you can see like little resin plates over it. And they're also wearing a Starfinder emblem on their chest, which again you've seen them wear and carry before. They sort of smile and they like, TJ, Kaz.
This is Sylph. She's part of the crew.
Hello, Sylph.
She's cool.
greetings to you.
Okay, it like sort of ignores you for a minute to like hear like them like greetings to you too.
They're in the know.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Is Skelkin with you?
She's not with you?
No.
She left quite a while ago.
Quite
Back
suddenly.
Kashoria.
Yeah, just sort of gone. We woke up from like a collective Desna dream, and she was nowhere to be found.
Right. Okay.
I'm sorry, we don't have any more information.
We
on that.
assumed she'd gone back to
We looked around, but
Malco, and
nothing.
no note, which wasn't unusual considering it was Skelkin. But
I tried to send some communications to her, but I didn't get anything back, which is why I contacted the Starfinders. But Chiskis did say I'd best talk to the crew. Yes, sorry, I thought it was best for them to break the news if you hadn't heard from her. I didn't want to be the one
we
to.
didn't do that gently, then, did we?
Well, I mean, we don't know anything as of yet, then, Dara's Day.
So, okay.
MIA.
Right. Well.
Definitely dead, right?
She didn't die.
She's not in Debalco, where she gone?
Well, I don't know. That's right. MIA is the right term.
Okay, MIA.
Until we know for sure.
Sure.
MIA is the right status.
How did the hunt for the orbs go?
It's okay.
Yeah. Fine.
It's been
Somewhat taxing.
That's good way to put it. Actually, yes.
Don't think there'll be no shit about them Dara's Day, to be honest. Hoping you've found a little something. We found 3.
Okay, so that's more than something. That's That's okay. That's more than I found, but I have got information. Where did you find them?
Up your butt. No, not up your butt. Sorry.
So obviously you knew we already had one Thursday,
Yes.
but we also got one from the Temple of Desna.
That's where you said that you. Oh no, he didn't know that, did he? Oh, did he? Because I know you guys came back to the station,
Yeah.
and then eventually he was heading up. I can't remember if it's because you guys were heading to.
I think he headed off before.
Yeah, I think he did.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I think Skelkin did send out. It's so long ago.
Yeah.
And saying going to Kashoria.
Yes.
Possible
Yes.
orb. Skelkin did say, I think, in the last communication that there was potentially an orb there. So you found
We
one.
got that one, and most recently acquired one from floor 184 on Dynatech.
Absalom Station, which literally yesterday,
Yeah,
all that rigmarole happened.
quite fresh.
Okay. So there are definitely, obviously, more here on Demalco, but I think the one that was on Avel is what's called a keystone.
Oh yeah, we know that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we only knew about that since yesterday.
We knew about that a long time, Kaz. We've known about it for ages, right?
Yes.
Right? Yeah, well, I can't believe it's taking this long, Thursday, to catch on to that. I will bluff if necessary.
I mean, give me a fucking bluff check.
23, not my best.
He's a pretty low NPC. I don't think he can beat that off a 10. But I'll double check it anyways, just to see.
Just to see.
Fuck no. He's got some good numbers, but he ain't got sense motive in there. That's amazing. Could have done with that information a little sooner, but that's...
We've been real busy, dude.
I imagine
busy.
that's... Yeah. So, Kashoria and Absalom Station,
yep.
I think they are grouped collectively, and I think one of that group is here on Demalco. I think that we found ancient writings and stories passed down through some of the other clans about a keystone temple that was once home and library to these guardian orbs when they were all collectively in one place before the gap and before the awakening. I think there's one there.
Okay.
However, we need to bring together a collective of different keystone orbs to locate it here on the planet, which means bringing together a large group of Demai.
Okay.
Which means that the Colossi are gonna hone in on that.
Sure.
Is there a time frame on that?
We haven't started because I wanted to see how Skelken had got on with the search on Kashoria. But essentially we need to bring 4 or 5 clans together with their guardian orb keystones to access find and access this temple. When that happens, we are going to be a lighthouse for the Kyokas.
Well, we have a bit of a backup plan to be able to battle at least one of them, if one of them come, but...
Did you not say these orbs, though, repel these
They
creatures?
Yes.
do, but a mass gathering like this, we don't know how safe we're going to be. Also, if we are using them to find and locate this temple, we don't know if we're going to be able to use them simultaneously to affect the Kyoka.
So you speak of these other clans. Do they already have orbs themselves now?
Yes,
Yeah.
there are many clans, all with a what we call a keystone. And what I've learned is the keystone seems to act as the leader, the head of a group of orbs, and these orbs are used to create and divert the Kyoka. But according to different stories from different clans, and I've been speaking to, he would say, Jaruno Demura, who is Skelken's relative, who is her clan leader, an elder. They seem to have stories of these orbs having left the planet. I think that's where Skelken first heard them, which I think means that the ones we've been chasing down are a collective group. She
sense.
seems to think one of those orbs that left the planet, in their stories, came back home and is in that Keystone Library.
Okay.
That would check out with what we've found out and seen,
Yeah.
yes.
Isn't there one other one though?
There was.
Was it on a ship?
Yes, it was.
Not to metagame.
It
Yeah.
was. It was
I don't know this, but
Some piratey
Pirate
ship.
Tal'Deen, we thought, wasn't it? Broken Rock.
Yes.
Shadow.
Yeah, Tal'Deen,
Yeah.
Shadow Captain. So there's one that's travelling.
Could be fucking anywhere though.
Could be.
But you know of its...
We know of its existence. So our keystone, Roy. Do you remember Roy?
You've named it.
Yeah, we couldn't just keep calling it an orb.
Okay.
something a little bit different about Roy.
Yes, I remember the sentience. I remember it offering me. While I was in its presence, I didn't need to eat or sleep, and I was able to keep Cassie Cato at bay and not leave that cave. It was quite protective.
Yes, definitely. We think that maybe there's that maybe this collective has potentially been used for some sort of ritual, a binding ritual potentially, and personally, I haven't voiced this to the rest of the group yet, but I personally feel, given a recent chat I had with Roy, that maybe there might be more than one thing going on with Roy. There's a shadowy presence in there that's just not a good vibe.
Well, he wasn't there for that bit.
Your orb is sentient.
Yeah. Yours isn't.
But the other ones aren't.
No.
No, the one that we found on Abel, which is the one I originally went looking for, which Skelkin then came looking for us with these guys, it turned out it had a level of sentience to it, something that Skelkin and I hadn't seen before, and it protected me in my darkest hour. It offered me sustenance and a need to not have to rest, really, which meant that while my life was in danger from this, whatever they were, I was safe. But if you say you've had a conversation with it,
well, in as much you can have a conversation, it offered me power, not unlike that which Grandpappy Vorag was offered and took. Quite a shadowy thing, which I said no to because it didn't really fit the vibe, and I didn't like it very much. But we also saw. There's been a few things, Darristay, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, hasn't there just?
So there was a point where Roy sort of mind controlled us, and we ended up digging up Vorag's dead, by the way, you knew that, obviously. But we dug Vorag up. Oh, did you not know Vorag's dead?
Oh.
Yeah, but we dug him up. Not from our own choice, but because Roy wanted us to, and then it sucked up his blood into the orb.
Blood binding. And you see, give me a sense motive.
I'm rolling that shit today.
24.
25.
Lovely. There is a moment where something seemed to click into place with him, for those of you over 20, where he's like, something was said to me somewhere and I've just, maybe a penny's dropped or something. And he's like, or a credit sticker's dropped. And
dropped a credit.
And one of the stories I think Geruno mentioned talked about a binding in blood. I think that's one of the sentences. But it's an older fable.
To us.
Well, I don't know it. I will have to go and speak to her and see what she knows. But it was one of those ones I didn't think mattered at the time because I hadn't seen anything to do with blood binding. But it came up, and that seems like something. I'm just looking to clutch at straws here.
I mean, straws will do because it's. We found out recently that it was used as part of a ritual because basically this mega AI that was attached to a lich decided to ascend to godhood and wanted the orbs to try and do that by using them as part of a ritual. So we found that out through them. It's been a couple of days, Darristay. It's really been a lot.
It sounds like it. Okay, I will do what I can to get some more information from these stories. I didn't want to try and get into this Keystone library without Skelkin. But if Skelkin's not there, would you still be willing to help?
I think we already invested.
I think we're 3 orbs deep, man. We're all the way.
Yeah, I hear 2 in the morning. In the evening is...
Just talking about keystones, obviously our keystone that we have here, Roy, has a level of sentience. Do the other keystones in the other groups, have they been reported to have sentience as well in different clans?
No, and that's one of the interesting things I found.
Certainly difference there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Just
Is
want to
that
make sure.
I've been asking, I've been going around talking to different elders and different Guardian Orb wielders. None of their keystones have this level of sentience that I felt through the keystone there on Avil. And to say that you've communed with it in a way that it's offered you power and stuff, that's definitely way beyond. I mean, some of them have spoken about feeling more connected with the planet and with the Kyoka, but not on that kind of level, just an emotive level. Whereas I remember feeling the emotive level of that keystone and realising that must be why it was a keystone. The other orbs just act as conduits almost when they are in their collective groups. 5 together gives them their full power, but the keystone is key for a reason, but none of them have that level of sentience.
But this one feeds back.
Exactly. And what I've learned from the other Guardians and the Guardian Orbs here and their wielders is that that's not a thing. But Garuno speaks of them as if they do. Garuno speaks of them not through experience, but again through these fables, through these stories about how the keystones led that way. And I think that's where Skelken's journey began, with these stories. So it would be interesting, and again, if you can bring them here, so we can try and find this, I guess, 4th one. If we know that the 5th one, if we have a name and a ship, you say, then that's a trackable thing.
It is. For Ida.
Who?
So Ida was another crew member who we lost, 2 days ago? To a horrible, toxic accident. But he was a pirate. He used to be with that crew. But he was one of the good ones. He'd be really helpful about now.
Yeah, he would. But unfortunately, that is not going to happen anymore.
What happened? Where is he now? What, can we not enlist his help?
He's all over the walls of my former home.
He's in pieces.
Mentally, is he okay? Like, can we do anything to help?
Terrace Day. He is literally gore at the bottom of our showers.
Oh!
Yeah, it was pretty brutal.
Right.
Yeah.
One would probably call a brutal murder.
Yeah.
You sound like you've been through a lot of former crewmates.
I mean...
2, 3, 2.5, really, because... Yeah.
Skelton's not dead, it's just...
That we know of.
Gulp.
Yeah.
And, Vorag, Ida...
Probably Pez.
It's not too bad, is it?
I don't know, still...
That's why it looks at you. It's not too bad, is it? Literally looks at still.
I mean, Calyx is just soup at the moment, so...
I'm sorry, Calyx is what?
Calyx is super adjacent.
What does that mean?
Certainly chunky soup at the
A minestrone, I would think, at this point.
Yeah.
Wait, Calyx is dead too?
No. Calyx is undergoing his transformation at the moment. He has cocooned himself and will emerge a beautiful butterfly.
A beautiful butterfly. Okay, as long as... he was really sweet. I really liked Calyx.
Yeah. He's our special boy.
So it's like reading the contract, like... What am I going to?
There is deep legal clauses in it. Linda's obviously been at that contract and fully bulletproofed it.
Why is there so many redacted bits?
You don't need to know.
If I may interject in this sobering moment.
And you hear that he speaks out loud for the communication because his telepathy won't go that far.
Dara's Day. The crew of the Hope, formerly known as the Zephyr Horizon, have been given or been gifted the use of a Leviathan-grade Titan mech from the stewards to aid in possibly battling a Kyoka on Demalco should they see fit. We didn't know whether or not the orbs were tied to Dynatech or not, and the stewards have had a vested interest with us in trying to stop any further acquisitions of relics and ancient artifacts for Dynatech. To which end, if you don't mind me saying, the crew are, when they're ready, going to be able to pilot this mech and potentially stave off an attack of your people for the Kyoka. Is it just a case of biding time, do you think? Or is it a case that... Because nobody's ever killed one before.
Would more orbs help, say, if we went to get the fourth one before coming to this planet?
Who are you asking?
It's an open question to the room, but mostly at Darius.
Fucked if I know. No, Chistis would not say that. Chistis would be like, I'm sure the more help the better, Darius Day. Yeah, if you can get that one en route, then the fifth and final one is here. But whether or not that is going to be useful in terms of the Kyoka, I'm not too sure. Obviously, getting the fourth or fifth one, the one that's here on Demalco, requires mass uses of keystones to get into that library, apparently, and to locate it. But if you had another group of them, then it might do to dissuade the Kyoka or emotively change them. So I'm not going to say no to that. If you can get the fourth of them together and get the fifth one out of this vault in time, then that might just work. But at the moment, I think, is when we find this, or when we begin to try and search for this library, we just need to be able to hold off the Kyoka long enough that then we can disband this large grouping of the Demai so that they can escape and flee from the devastation. They are... If you've never seen one attacking, they are...
Yeah, they're quite something, aren't they?
Have you seen footage?
We've been in the presence of one that's been manifested.
Kaz has been up close and personal with said footage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Quite literally.
They are...
I'll send you a clip.
Thanks for sharing that around.
That's it.
I'm making it stop, John.
Like and subscribe.
They have destroyed our planet.
Strixboy gets stalked by.
I like nuts.
I like nuts. I like nuts.
I look like nobody knows what I'm referencing now. Only you two do. And I'll show you a break. Okay. I will let the clans know and the tribes know to hold off coming until we know that you're on the way.
Sure.
I suggest if you need quick movements of people, look at building gates.
I mean, I'll keep the sheep in.
Teleportation gates.
Oh.
Rather expensive and hard to build, but if you're so caring to save many people and move at speed...
Yes. Very much agree with you on that one. It's just time and collectively getting the people together to do so without the Kyoka honing in on us. We spend most of our time underground, moving from place to place. It's almost become a nomadic lifestyle for us in the past 100 years. But I appreciate the idea, and I will let the guardians and the elders know to possibly consider that. But Demalco is our home, and I think we want it back. I think some of the elders think that opening the library might be the key to finding out why the awakening happened and why and how we can stop it and how we can maybe get rid of the Kyoka once and for all. But we won't know until we're in there.
Okay.
Just let me know when you're on the way.
Will do.
Yes. Let you know.
Is there anything else I can do for you from this side?
I'll probably get us those stories if you don't mind.
Yes, I will do my best.
That'll be smashing.
Do you know how they're made? The orbs?
No, actually, that's another mystery altogether. We know that the library was found many, many cycles ago, pre-Gap, and we know that before the Gap, the world was a verdant place, and the orbs were used as tools for helping build and maintain society. But apart from that, we don't know where they actually came from. There's no written history that we found. All that's told through the story is just that it happened and they were there. Whereas, the Kyoka we know it came during the awakening, but that's all I have found out, and that's. I knew that before I even began looking for these things off planet. It's quite the mystery.
Well, if it's returning a home world, I'd be happy to help.
Thank you. It was Sylph, wasn't it?
Was Darius Day?
Darius Day, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Thank you. It's very kind of you. And you see, like, there's like an extra lift to his grin. Like,
TJ whispers.
Subtle as a Kyoka. I'll do what I can for you.
Alrighty.
Well, that's everything.
Yep, see you on the flip side.
Until we have more information, Darius Day, speak soon. And the communication ends. It appears you're going to be taking Titan Leviathan for a little leg stretch then.
Yes, how are we going to get this transported to Jamaica?
I will talk to the stewards and I believe they will get it positioned in orbit ready for you to make a landing. It'll be essentially a halo jump while inside the mech. It's pretty cool.
Sick.
Is it worth then going after this fourth orb first?
Do you even know where to begin?
I mean, Broken Rock.
There is Broken Rock, but the last I think I know of a certain fishman who might know whereabouts. Given his dealings, you don't have to go.
The podcast listeners, that was Jack's noise. I don't want to.
Don't worry, Jack. I'm gonna do what I can. I'll protect you from the nasty fishman.
Thank you.
I didn't like the way I didn't like the way he spoke to Calix last time when Calix came with a deal for him. I felt some underhanded shadiness there. So, but he might.
I don't remember.
He might know something. I mean, we could also.
We can just ask around in the channels.
Either shit and see if we can find anything that would track.
Yeah, I mean, we can go sort of maybe to the that bar.
That bar.
What's it called? The Node. I was thinking the core. No, not the core. The Node, because there's a lot of people around there that do a lot of
mercenary
and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if we're really stumped, we can look around there.
Well, there's a few
fun to find things.
There's a few. We can ask around a little, see if we can find anything out.
Okay.
Yeah. See what we can muster.
Looking for the location of the Broken Rock.
It's more the ship we want specifically.
I would imagine Broken Rock is a place to start, though. That is the den of pirates. And although you have to be within the pirate captains to know its exact location as it moves, or its coordinates on the move, actually, that's not a bad place to begin looking for.
Ida had the last location quite recently.
What, of Broken
Memory
Rock?
serves. I think he had some coordinates, or at least was making tracks on it.
Yeah, there was something there.
It's almost like if he'd written us a list of things he had on him, we'd know.
I actually know what's there, and I know what's inside, like his data pads and stuff like that. So I mean, that's something that you can go back to.
I think it'd be worth finding.
Have we still got?
Yeah. We took all his bits.
I actually have his character sheet, by the way. So.
Okay, that's fine. Well, I know we were meant to talk to fucking Dr. Grimm as well.
We've got time. This isn't an immediacy. This is something that we can maybe spend a bit of time over, get our research, get our rest. We've had a really intense couple of weeks.
True. Just because the Dr. Grimm, are they still within confines?
They're in the steward's custody, yes.
Okay. That's right, and securely so.
Apparently so.
Not due to be, I don't know, freed.
No, as far as we're aware, they haven't offered any more information apart from something that was given to you. Otherwise, you're actually our point of call when it comes to that. Okay. The stewards said that they're dealing with yourselves, your crew, and also Dr. Grimm. They will keep, for the current next few days, Luazi informed, and obviously John will be brought up to speed on the situation.
In that case, Cass, did you want to have a little before we...
With Dr. Grimm?
Yeah.
The podcast listeners, that was Steffi who went ding 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 on a data pad, and then her hand went hum 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 for a chat.
It wasn't a data pad, it was something else.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
It was a telephone dial.
We've been plotting.
Oh, cool. Do tell.
No.
Game over, guys.
And that's how you don't TTRPG. Just want to do anything?
No.
Secretly away from the GM.
No, we'll get there. I'll ping through it.
Just because, can we use do we have access to any stations you've got in within the Lawspire?
What do you mean by that?
Analysing sort of samples.
I mean, well, yeah, we can usually find a way, especially within the data files. It's kind of...
Are we allowed access to use your equipment and such? Or?
I think Historia 7 and the guys down there will be quite happy to let you use their facilities.
Okay,
Sick.
I will send a quick message, but I will double check.
So we can get
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Well, I think that's all for you, just because I don't know.
Yeah, and Darius, thank you, Darius Day.
Already gone.
Bye, Darius Day.
Just as yes, Historia 7 has granted you access to the data files.
Thank you for confirming. All right, well, we'll make our way down to wherever the analysing stations will be.
Yeah, so you know that you have to head back down to the main atrium from the offices, and obviously this grand, almost like circus tent shaped roof with this amazing statue in the center of this dwarven martyr of the Starfinder site called Diravor Creel. You know that there are drones all around and there are screens everywhere. That it's kind of like a museum atrium in a way. Very like, you know, when you walk into Jurassic Parks, I think there's like the T-Rex skeleton, but instead of that, it's the Diravor Creel statue, this bold dwarf with a long beard. You know that there are a set of elevators to the far left and back side of the atrium where you went down to the data files and the architect's court. No. Archive Cortex. Previously, there is no John on the door.
Well, he's got other.
He doesn't got other things now.
There would be a young. Roll me a dice. Odds it's male. No, let's add some things in here. So
Roll and play press.
D6 for me, please, somebody. 1 to 2 male, 3 to 4 female, 5 to 6 androgynous. 2. Male. Already forgotten my own choices. Yeah. Let's grab the. There is a book down here.
A sort of roll and play press. Poison crispy owl.
Pork cylinders.
Interstellar species. I'm going to go into this one this time.
Birthday pie.
Christmas man.
Somebody say stop.
Stop.
Okay.
Well.
Let's see who's on the door now.
Somebody at the door.
Fucked up creature or something, isn't it?
Oh god,
Sid
if it's
manifested.
Sid.
I see all your voice from the AI. Did you like it?
Sid on legs.
Shoot it now.
Sid can come in the ship with you.
No.
Kill it before it lays eggs.
God.
You see a cat-like person. You've seen a Patra before. You've seen
SL running?
SL running. Took me a minute, 'cause I was about to say 2 llamas then. Who is this? Anchor person for some of the Dynatech shows and had done an interview with you in that original hangar bay, the Dynatech hangar bay. But you see this like lithe, very skinny, very tall, maybe adolescent Patra. He's like, oh, hey, good morning, welcome to the Lost Mine Complex. Hey, oh, hey, good morning, how you doing? Welcome to the Lost Mine Complex. Hey, and they're just like, every time, and they're trying to catch everybody that's coming in with the same sentence, and you can see they're like bumbling a data pad, like, hi, welcome to the Lost Mine Complex. Over to one side.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning, welcome to the Lost Fire Complex. And you like come up from behind them, so like,
Breathe.
hi, how are we doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm really good, thank you. How can I help you today?
What's your name, kid?
Thanks.
You've got some lovely books down there.
I do, but I want to kind of go rogue on this.
Oh, yeah.
Do it, yes.
Go rogue then.
Felix.
Chairman Mal. Lord Mittens.
Clancy.
Clancy
Longtooth.
I love it.
Yeah, alright.
Well, congrats on the gig, Clancy.
Yeah, that's my first day here.
I was going to say, yeah.
I'm training to be, I'm a cadet here at the Starfinder Society, but I'm also, I'm now on duty as a custodian.
Have they given you training?
I'm in training at the moment, but apparently the custodians is one of the highest honourable positions you can have while in training as a cadet.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Here's just if I could give you one piece of advice, Clancy.
Oh yeah, go on.
Just engage the diaphragm. You know, you want everything to be coming from there. It's going to really save your voice in the long run. And you know, I'm just going to send you off. Like, here's a little book of positive affirmations. Practice those in the mirror every day, and just there's some little like mouth exercises in there that'll really set you up on your way, kid.
Oh, thank you very much. Hey, good morning. And, like, as you're talking, he's like trying to catch other people coming through, like a kid's birthday in retail, so I'll greet everybody.
Oh, bless it.
Yeah, okay. Well, it seems like you guys know where you're going. Are you okay? Just
We're good, Clancy. You keep doing you, kid.
Okay.
You're doing fine.
You're really intimidating.
I'll just pat him on the shoulder and get
Don't touch me.
relax.
I hate being touched.
Fair enough.
I'll tell you.
We should probably go.
Please stop talking to me.
I thought we could get it through to him, but not happening.
I think you may want to look at relocation.
All right. Okay. Okay, context, please. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's leave this guy.
Just seems like shaking from physical contact. His tail's like tucked in and all around and back up to his stomach. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Lost Fire Complex.
I give him a week.
And you guys
not even that.
Days.
head on over to the elevator. And
How much do you want to bet?
No, not gonna get me that easy. We've had this before with the crew member, and I shan't be brought into erroneous betting.
Really?
No, Skelkin, she was always been like, a bet on the rations. And you were like, no, why?
I would have loved to have done some betting.
I would have paid good money to see that, actually.
Whoa, hang on. Hang on, how much are you talking?
I'm saying 3 days for the new boy.
Okay, yeah.
Let's see.
You bet how much?
Ooh, 50 credits.
It's fair. I bet you 50. But he will not last 2.
So if he makes it to the 3rd day.
You win.
Okay.
Must be nice being a free
Deal.
species with all this disposable income.
It's only 50 credits. We pulled some credits out.
I don't know if you remember, Kaz, but not too long ago, I was given no credits.
Yeah, but we have those credits now from this one. We'll just
Do you want to bet?
I don't want. Listen,
You
my
may end
wife
up
would
getting
kill
more
me if I
credits.
made a bet and lost a load of money. We're trying to start a life here.
Have we split up that money yet?
Oh, I think we
got a
did,
bunch
didn't
of credits from Verify, didn't we?
we? did.
We split
We
them up.
did
last
split
time.
it up, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, nice money.
have you added those to your character sheet?
I
have.
didn't know we had
Yeah.
split up yet, so
Yeah.
I haven't yet.
I've got it.
How much was it?
Was it 5,000 and something?
But you took Bruce's cut as well because he wasn't there. So I believe it was 6,100 in the end.
Yeah.
What each?
Yes.
Okie dokie. Adding it now.
I really want to say that you've lost those credits.
Well, I literally, I don't even remember being
Kaz, it's
there.
okay. I've kept yours safe on a little piggy bank for you.
Thank you very
You
much.
drop the cred stick, and there's like a little Roomba, and it starts like going up and it like melts into a crowd of them all going back into the wall.
There's like thousands of rumbas.
All appearing out of nowhere.
Yeah, you didn't even see them before, and like a bird flies by and picks one up.
Off it goes.
Go on, have your credits.
I'm having my credits, thank you.
Right,
Might make a pickpocket check for someone. I just really want to go against you.
okay, we're going
Archive.
to the analyst
I'm imagining this will happen.
Analyst place.
You
I don't really know
swipe
the words today.
your data pads, you gain access to the elevators, you start heading down, and you have to go into the main atrium of the
archive cortex, or cortex Kyber. The archive cortex, where you see many Histoki. You see loads of different people in Under Armour, essentially this like this turtleneck Under Armour with these long black sleeves. They have the Starfinder symbol on one side, and they have the data file symbol on the other side. The one that you see Ren wearing, this like square patch. In fact, I'll actually bring it up so I can describe properly for you. But
Mr. Apple.
say again.
I'm trying to remember his name.
Steve
Steve
Jobs.
Jobs.
Steve Jobs. They're all Steve Jobs.
So it's essentially a diamond where it looks like ley lines on the outside, and then you have a red line down the center that intersects. It kind of looks for you guys like that.
Hey.
Sick.
So that is the data files logo. These ley lines that create this like white circle at the top, then you've got like a hex in that, this red line down the center, and then a load of the connecting energy ways. You probably ask another Histoki, they will lead you over to, and it's a chemical analyzer you're after, yeah? What is it you're looking to do here?
It's more of a biological analysing.
Yep, okay. Easily doable here. You can find a table. It's a lot like a med lab, but you find that there are like those centrifugal machines that will split apart things like blood or other liquids. You can find that you can take samples and put them under microscopes.
Tell me your secrets. I got secrets. Be specific.
I almost let myself get carried away there. Want to watch us get cancelled?
So anyway.
That was close for me, that was. But unlike other members of the cast. I stopped myself.
Never tell. So, Kat, yes.
Yeah, so should we employ the help of someone who may be able to efficiently do the process? I'm okay at it.
Well, let me reach out to my network and see if they could find someone for us in here who might be handy.
I mean, we could speak to Historia 7 and maybe they know someone who's apt.
We could.
Unless you look like you want to do what you want to do.
Speak to my friends.
Oh, go.
This is the one thing I can do, Cass.
Go for it.
I will use my networking.
Okay, yes.
To try and figure out specifically the Histoki in the Northspire, if there's someone who's very good at analysing brain matter.
Yes, okay. You send that out to the Histoki, and they, in seconds, send out the messages all over the place, as the Histoki do. And they say you want to speak to Cultivator.
Cultivator.
Doctor Cultivator.
Oh, jeez. Oh, Dr. Cultivator.
And you would be able to find them in the data files. And they say, pretty much, at the desk that you're at.
Oh, that's handy.
And you hear...
And they are little
Dr.
processor.
Cultivator.
They've been there the whole time.
Tiny.
Oh, jeez, it is.
No.
And you notice there is like a... what you thought was a plant pot on the desk. But as they turn around, you see a Raxolite, which is this small... plant being. They are wearing a Starfinder badge on their. It would be, they'd be wearing it on their arm, and beneath it's where their data files one is, because they don't. They've got it's like a netting over them, but it's not like an actual clothing or anything. They have these like augmented goggles fitted to their face as they turn around. They're about a foot tall, and they are like a bulbous head, like a green onion, and they have this like plumage that looks like a white dandelion coming out of the top of it. So, what do you want?
That's the voice you chose.
We're sticking with that now.
That's it.
Hello, Dr. Cultivator.
I'm Dr. Cultivator. What do you want?
Now with this voice.
Okay. We have some...
Leave me alone. I hate strips.
Whoa, fuck it.
Wow. Reported to HR.
You can try. I'm the cultivator.
Hey, chaps. Anyone else? Literally anyone else.
No, there's only one. Why are you in my station?
Well, we need to analyze some brain matter, and we've heard that you might be the best to help with this endeavor.
That's right.
Are you willing?
You're the best.
I'm always willing. And you see them they very much like Maz in Star Wars, where she fixes her goggles. You see these bright plant eyes, and for you guys, a Raxolite is literally a plant-like being.
Yeah.
So cool.
They are very, very cool. And this dandelion thing is in a really tight bun, and it's pulled back, and you can see this skin of this plant is taut. And they were standing in a pot of water.
Right, sure.
I was on my lunch break.
Oh, sorry about that, old bean.
That's all right.
Is that offensive?
I'm so sorry if it is. No offense
You
meant.
said I should go to HR. No, it's fine.
Report myself.
What do you want?
They pull out sort of a small tube.
Snatches it.
Don't smash it, my god.
Brain matter it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'd like to specifically look if there's nanites or anything else interesting, or maybe you could possibly also run the DNA through the system.
All brain matter.
Well.
Don't drink
Whoa,
it.
hang
No.
Gotta cultivate it.
That's why they call me Dr. Cultivator.
What is it, nanites?
Yes, anything unusual, I suppose.
Yeah, we just kind of want to get a read on this brain.
Okay, well, most of them don't belong in jars.
No.
No, they also don't belong in what we found it in.
Yes, true.
What did you find it in?
A mechanical body.
Indeed.
You see that, the dandelions, shift slightly, there's a breeze all of a sudden, and they take this tube and they're pull out it's almost like a liver, pan, and they just...
That's disgusting.
Is this the Dr. Grimm brain?
It
from
is,
the show?
yes.
Okay, cool. And they shake it like jelly, and they begin to put it inside a machine. They start taking samples from it, putting it into different things, and you watch them start to put it into the centrifugal machines, and you see a screen start to bring up loads of data, and we'll find out what's on that data in 10 minutes time after I sort my life out. So we'll be back in 10 minutes, guys.
Yep.
Until then, see ya.
It's 66, isn't it?
And it really is. I mean, for anybody who missed that, what I was saying is, if you were part of the Empire, you could practice on this Grogu Dots being Sorry.
Get him. But he's a nice little cuddle, isn't he?
He's alright, isn't he?
Yeah.
And my kids are too big to hold like this now.
Oh.
They always say you never know the last time you're going to pick up your children. You never know when it's the last time because they get too big. And I realised the other day, I was I don't actually remember the last time I picked up my eldest. And I'll let you guys live with that sad fact that I don't remember.
You can always suplex him.
He's quite strong now, He's probably
He is,
probably on par with me, 'cause I'm
actually.
not the strongest. I really am quite weak. And
I can't lift him with my arms anymore.
no, he's,
I'm sorry
he's,
about that.
preteen, isn't he?
Yeah.
Growing boy.
Yeah, so that's some personal information for you all. So obviously we're into a new day.
Yeah.
You guys have actually had a rest,
Yeah.
which you're allowed to have every now
So
and again.
much time.
Yeah, but still not on full hit points.
Right.
Which again, it's another mechanic I quite like for Starfinder, is that you don't automatically get all your axe wounds healed up for sleeping. It's no, you got shot. Guess what? It's going to take at least 2 sleeps to heal that up. But yeah, you get all your stamina back, and you get. Sorry, I just saw chat there, and I was like, "Oh, read that halfway through my sentence," and just cut me right off. Yeah, so I think for the long rest in Starfinder, you get your level in hit points, something like that. I can't remember.
So, yeah.
Hit points. Long rest. Because I can't actually remember. I know that you don't get the full ones, and I always forget because I'm not a 1 hit point per character level. And then any significant interruption during your rest prevents you from healing that night. If you undergo complete bed rest for 24 hours, you cover 2 hit points per character level. So it's actually slow gains, which, again, for when you're doing those long dungeon crawls and stuff like that, I quite like that, because it means that, yeah, you can rest, but you're not going to get all of that back. It makes healing serums more worthwhile, they become more of a resource, and also just to, get the rest in where you can. And obviously, over
however long you then spend before you choose to go on a mission, which now you know there's another mission that you could undertake. That, you don't have to go on it straight away. You could be like, let's either recover on the ship on the way there.
R&D set.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm going to hand Grogu back to you. I'm not going to throw precious cargo. Yeah. So realistically, I suppose we come back in on the Archive Cortex, this hive of the data files, this subsect of the Starfinder Society within the Lawspire complex. You were in this, it's very like Camino in Star Wars, this like white room with these like floating tables and these pointed pillars coming off each one, and you found the cultivator, Dr. Cultivator, this Raxolite plant being biochemist, and you have brought the brain of Dr. Grimm, the first Dr. Grimm you encountered, way back on Kashoria, and have asked them to look for nanites within the brain. Can I ask whose idea that was, please?
It was kind of Steph's, TJ's, but it was kind of like we probably should have a look at it between both of us.
I was just sort of like, you got that brain!
Yeah.
And we were like, let's give it a poke.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, who said you got that brain? Let's give it a poke.
I did, yeah. Been going through the back catalogue of notes and things and trying to
I've been constantly
piece stuff together.
seeing it on the inventory. I'm like, do I do something with it? Is it just going to be a dead end? I just don't know.
But if it's a dead end, then we know it's a dead end.
That's very true.
It's ruling things out.
Yeah. I wasn't sure. I couldn't fathom the kind of information that we could find. But like you say, a dead end's a dead end.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Okay.
Let's have a good poke.
And you watch as this data starts streaming in on these consoles as this Dr. Cultivator's like, I see, yes, and begins to pour through it. It's very interesting, yes, Synthetic brain, one created
Yes, good.
to mimic that of an actual brain. It seems it has all the function of a regular brain. It appears to be strict in nature.
Yes, yep, good, yep.
That's fine, yeah.
But it's almost a copy. It seems to be synthetically grown, almost like a clone.
Mm-hmm. Could you age it?
Yes, I would say this is probably looking at cell growth and... I don't have a stat block for Dr. Cultivator, so...
20s across the board.
You have the time for her to take 20, which is kind of, I will let them kind of give you the answers, because I actually really like this train of thought.
Because it's a brain.
I like this brain train.
But we specifically want to find someone who's better than us.
Basically. And they are more qualified than you all are at this. So I'm going to say they can just take the 20s across the board. And this is about 14 years old. But it is not an adolescent's brain. This is a fully matured adult Strix brain. There are dead nanites in it. It is not constructed of nanites, but the nanites seem to, and it brings up like a map of the brain. And it's a pretty standard looking brain across most humanoids. It's not a different colour or anything like that. It's this like pink grey mass, and it's now more grey than anything. But the map comes up and it shows you this 3D image of it in its natural state. And obviously it's a bit scrushed. You've had your hand in there and it's been forced into a tube. But they are able to construct what they think is the original map of the brain. The nanites seem to have come together and created some kind of transponder or receiver, and then died.
Yeah.
It appears that the nanites are of a singular function. And nanotechnology is not only my area of expertise, but it does look like they were positioned in all of the synaptic pathways, and then have come together what looks like at the time of death.
whether that's because of the death but the fact that it seems to have formed this shape, and you can see that like falling apart in this image, because it is like sand now coming apart with these nanites. There is this like receiver, and it's like a conical at both ends spindle, and you can see it like when it's like moved around, bits of it like crumble off, and you see nanites like fall away. Steph, I'm actually going to give you a cred stick. That's why I specifically wanted to know who. Oh!
I think that transponder was sending the info to the other clone.
Yeah, it's a bit like downloady.
Thank you.
If you remember when something happened and it said transference.
Yeah.
Also, when you look at the data that I know you have a copy of from the lab here on Alstom Station, it talks about transference of data from Kashoria to the lab there.
100%.
If this happened at the time of death, that means there's something inbuilt already, which might, if Professor Dine is of the same ilk or is the ilk, that would explain some of the transference being so easy. That was what these nanites were set to do. Point of death, transfer, gone.
Exactly.
It's a safety backup.
It's just far too similar for be a coincidence. So,
Now finding out it's a synthetic brain as well is helpful.
It's synthetic in the sense that it is a functioning brain.
Oh yes.
It is a synthetic clone.
Yes.
Like any clone is a synthetic, but they are still an organism.
Yes.
It's not synthetic like we think of androids and blood or their brains.
You say it's a Strix brain,
Yes.
but could any species potentially decide to inhabit it? Or would it have to be Strix?
I think when you come to that consciousness, really, aren't you?
Yes.
The brain, and you have found a biochemist and a bioengineer, is a very specific thing. It's like a thumbprint. It's like a fingerprint. It is like a mark. Like everyone's synaptic activity is key to them. I would imagine it could only be, unless it was magic. I don't know much about magic. It would have to be an identical brain, and only the original host could take it. Only the original host could take it! Because they had a weird voice, and I've already forgotten that.
Well, I mean, clearly they've been creating their own clones.
Yes.
We know that for sure. And if we...
They haven't been putting themselves into a traditional body, have they?
No.
Cloning technology is very, very advanced and very, very hard to come by.
We've come by it quite a lot lately.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, as a thank you, we should probably give you a little bit of what we found, really, shouldn't we?
Yes. Credits 6,100.
Has paid the lady.
I've got rumours everywhere.
I mean, what can we give? We don't know the ins and outs of how we're actually doing it. We're doing this for the betterment of the Pact.
All right.
I mean, we'll go to the Starfinders eventually anyway. I'll copy across to them my footage of the secret garden and the non-ethical sleeving that we discovered there.
Eventually, like, and they actually like, I've heard about this. I'm going to be brought on to work for it, and we'll talk about how they're not on it yet, but they are finishing their work before they come in to look at the details of. Essentially, not necessarily the cloning devices, but the Decimar and what had been done to them, and so on and so forth, but also the transmutic powers of going from a larvae to a adult form, and she actually goes on to say how clever it was to keep them in their larval state to harvest the silk, and then actually goes on to a long tirade of like, realistically, it was quite ingenious, and you get a science nerd going up on one and appreciating the science rather than the actual grimness behind it.
I come here to escape that.
Yeah. There's asbestos everywhere.
20 of them.
Oh, that's a trisulfurfluoroalkyl light. I should got rid of all the asbestos. Oh, imagine the crystalline on that.
Jesus Christ. I love him dearly, I do. Asbestos.
No, we're using Hephaestus. Yeah, do you need any more answers?
Well,
Pretty thorough.
it's proved everything that we thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting way of sending a consciousness on the event of a death back somewhere.
Yes.
If you have another synthetic brain for it to go into, that way you could have a clone with the memories of up to the point of death, the previous thing. It's actually quite ingenious.
What would you have if you had 2 brains, 2 clones, and then you overwrote the other? One died, sent the information to the second, and you overwrote it. Just hypothetical, just for fun.
Hypothetically, I mean, either it would cause the brain to overload and shut down, or you could end up with both sets of memories, both sets of experiences.
We knew that the Dr. Grimm that we killed originally, I believe that was the first clone.
That we were aware of.
Because in the logs and previously it was like hashtag number 1.
Yeah.
And then the one that we spoke to on Absalom is number 2. Which means...
Number 0, it might be somewhere.
What was the original person? Like, who was the original person?
Strix by the sounds of it, so...
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure I spoke to my crew, I think, about Dr. Grimm. I don't think they knew who Dr. Grimm was.
No.
I
They'd
mean,
never
do
heard
you
of
know
him.
every Strix?
No, but Dr. Grimm having the ability to use nanites puts him in a very narrow field of Strixian
He didn't
nature.
use them in the same way you did. And your crew, did he? They were external rather than internal. No. He also said he was quite from the early program, didn't he?
Yes.
I think it's bullshit.
Also, Dr. Grimm's a very
I'll give you that question.
generic
I'll take another
kind
one.
of name. It's probably a cover. Maybe you do know them under a different name.
No, right, yeah, well, exactly. And I would like to know what their actual real name is, but we're not going to know that until we go to Keto.
So we had, from the log that we found in the secret garden, under Triaxis, we had cloning device 7A, memory download complete, Orth Grimm 7B2, Orth Dynaxis 1, cloning in progress. And then that was the only one with Grimm, I believe. So we've got nanos, company orders, splicing. So, there's a couple of data relays in there, but...
Yeah.
He doesn't really have to fear death, does he? I'm sure he's got a few little backups tucked away around.
And that's why he was kind of just willing to go with the flow, as it were.
But he didn't want... If he could withstand being killed and just waking up elsewhere, it makes me think that he wants to be here because he was wanting to bargain and talk to the stewards. So perhaps his next sleeve is somewhere that's not on Absalom, but it behooves him to be here.
It behooves one.
It behooves one.
Or he's just gathering information while he's here.
Either way, he wants to be here.
He could just be making the most of it. If we
But
ended
if you
up killing
had-
him, I don't think it would really be much of an issue for him.
No, but it would maybe be an inconvenience. Because he'd have to find another way back.
It is possible.
I just think it's a lot of trouble to go for.
We need to know more.
We do. We need to go and shout to him, don't we?
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to really tell us. Well, he might. We never know.
I'm just going to...
But if he doesn't let on about actual information that we don't know about that's useful,
kill him.
Well, maybe, yes.
Kill him and see him again.
But we're going to have to go keto.
Yes.
Because he's gathered this nanotechnology from somewhere. And that's realistically...
Well, we know he's got his little science network, hasn't he?
Is there, and I'm saying this to the plant, I can't remember what they're called.
Dr. Cultivator.
Not Dr. Cultivator. Is there only so many times one can clone before the genetic information breaks down?
Well, if you have the host original body's DNA, then potentially you have multiple chances to clone, but actually degradation is a key thing in cloning, where if you don't have that original, if you're cloning from clones, it ends up becoming quite it's like a clone in breeding in a way. It becomes very, very
murky.
Yes, very much so. Unless you have the original body, that is the safest way to clone, or the original DNA.
I mean, Nigel's on his 17th or something.
Something ridiculous, yeah.
Unless there is like an original that they're just cloning again and again from. But the brain's so complex that you don't want to mess that up.
Well, I see.
Maybe that's what these nanites did. Maybe they mapped the brain.
Yeah.
Maybe the one who is with the stewards might be one of the more originals.
Possibly. He did have a cape. So. Just saying.
We're going to go speak to him, haven't we?
No, we don't have to go immediately, Kaz.
Yeah, but we're going to have to do it.
We kind of do have to do it, I think, yes.
Okay.
See what else we can wheedle out of him. Let him monologue a bit.
Okay. You think we should take it easy for a bit?
I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm exhausted.
Well, yes. I've got some things I want to do.
Do you want to do those things first, and then we'll reconvene and grim it up?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind having a look at that orb.
Which one?
This apparently sentient one.
Yes, I did actually. That was on my list of things to talk to you about, Lady Sylph, was because I would quite like you to also... Don't take this the wrong way. I'd like you to look at my orb.
I would be glad to.
Don't say it like that, please.
I have.
Feelings.
If we're done here...
You've been so helpful,
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Very much so, thank you.
I would actually. Have you ever come across brains being used as power?
Not as power, but they do make great data vaults. You know, the brain is essentially a biocomputer, but not as power.
Very well, could have been just data vaults.
If you're on about Nera 5, right?
I am, yes.
You pretty much gauge from everything that you got from it that, like, they were there to give her the extra CPU.
Yeah.
Processing power.
That's all I wanted.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Yes.
much, Dr. Cultivator.
Thank
And
you.
they step back into this, like, tray of water. And fuck off!
We'll let you enjoy your lunch.
Good? See them, like, pouring some sugar into it. What plants do, right?
Yeah. Sugar.
Delicious.
Electrolytes. Plants love them.
I don't feel good doing that. Like, I feel good doing that, but like, not the symbol.
Yeah, I did most folks.
Oh, what am I doing? Don't click that.
It's going to be close. Kaz,
I don't like.
I'll probably make my way back to the ship.
That's the first one of the campaign.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
I've got a lot of upgrades and stuff I want to do to it.
Okay.
Which, if we're going to take a little bit of downtime, I may as well get cracking on with, because I'm sure we're going to be adventuring the stars once more.
Indeed, well, you know I always trust you with anything you do to the
Good.
hope.
Thank you.
And, you know, we'll grab a beer before we go back into it, yeah?
Yes.
Alright, don't work too hard, kid. Are your friend still on station for another day or so?
I'm pretty sure.
How about if we set Rag off somewhere? You can have an afternoon with your lady friend.
Good luck separating.
Challenge accepted. Listen, we've got Sylph the MILF. I'm sure that we can wrangle something.
I'd rather you didn't call me that.
I apologise, I will never do so again.
Apologise is a word.
It was indeed. An inside thought became an outside thought.
I can always deal with Rag if you want.
Oh, if you want, Lady Sylph.
Well, I think it doesn't need to be so, date-like.
Take care of him. Got it.
Kaz.
Yes.
Come on now. Be brave.
This isn't about being brave.
I think it is, though, Kaz.
I haven't known you for particularly long, but you do seem to look to the past more than you look to the future. And that can be dangerous. So I suggest you keep looking forwards instead.
I do try.
He's doing
It's so difficult when the past has been what it is.
I can understand that. But if you live too much in the past, you don't live in the present. You don't live in the opportunities you have now and you regret, and then the future becomes the now, and the past becomes what has been and you regret. So take your chance.
I'll try and take your advice on board. Very wise.
Yeah, he has come a really long way. You're much chirpier these days.
Oh, that's true. I was a mopey bastard back then.
But that eye is fucked.
Midward eye patch. No, I'm kidding. You do
I
you,
have
boo.
some blue makeup if you want. Just a
He's
shade.
perfect the way he is.
I don't need to cover anything up. I am what I am.
Good boy. But
Thank you,
yes,
though.
just ship is fine, but take a little cast time as well. Yes.
Okay.
Captain's orders.
Aye, aye.
Aye, aye.
Is he allowed to say that?
What?
Aye.
I still have eyes.
Do you?
Yeah.
Tell me what you're doing.
Well, I'd probably part ways with you all when we get back to the
Bye,
ship, and
Kaz.
I'd probably just strip some armor off and like down to like kind of like a almost like a sleeveless version of my armor.
Are we getting some Transformers-esque like?
Probably like Tony Stark working on it and like stuff, just filthy, sweaty, just engineering.
Look at the pervs over here. Yeah. Yeah.
What else you take off?
Yeah. Yeah. Take the hand off.
What them eyes do, boy?
Nothing. The eyes don't do anything. They're fucked.
Purely aesthetic.
Wrong aesthetic. No, your character looks fine.
Yeah, right. And he will start to work on the ship and just make changes and get people around the docking station to come help and replace the mounting and
Yeah,
weapons.
I think you find.
Come and see for you.
Give me a D6.
A D6, you say? It's 2.
There's an android who give me another D6.
It's a 2.
Who is really kind of like celebratory. He's like, hey, yeah, I'd love to help. It's actually maybe less emotive, but they're still trying to. He's like, I would love to help.
Adorable.
I just need you over there. I need to replace that mount with the heavier one.
Excellent. And they just, assist in any way they can do, and you guys can.
No, we're fucking not.
They probably have like
That capacity as it is.
a shimmering gossamer skin, but it's like it glows with a blue hue. They have these irises that definitely constantly focus like lenses. They are completely bald and have this singular ley line that starts with a circle here and goes like to the back of their cranium.
Cool. Yeah, and throughout how much downtime we have, I can imagine just sort of looking from the ship from an outside perspective, you see almost like a time lapse of him just kind of appearing on different parts of the ships, kind of fixing that wire, and maybe one thing doesn't work, and he.
At one point he wipes his
gone.
brow and downs a Diet Coke.
Yeah, next to a fueling station. There's sand everywhere.
Yeah.
Office women are just like.
What a crowd.
That's how I see him spending probably a majority of his time.
Okay. To which end then? What about the rest of you?
Excuse me. Shall we
do the orb?
adjourn to a separate room and whip the orb out?
I'd like to go to do this.
Scary.
She won't bother you.
She will, though.
She might, but she's really harmless. She won't do anything to you on the station.
She tried last time. Tried to get into my mind, she did.
Oh, she does that all the time, it's fine.
Alright, as long as I'm under your protection, Lady Sylph. and I ping my location to share with Linda so she knows where I am at all times.
Are you going to see Lynch?
I'm not going to see Lynch with TJ. I will do Lynch separately.
Okay.
But I will at some point go and see Lynch. If you're... Sorry, I'm just going to see if there's a spell that I can do on other people.
Finger of Death.
Power word kill.
By TJ.
You've got to the wrong place.
Where are you?
Where are you? I don't get to do that.
Oh, there you go. A little treat for you. Oh,
Wicked treats.
As long as you stay close to me, you'll be fine.
yes, please.
And as we go into the Arcanum, I will cast Mental Silence. I'm trying to figure out if this moves.
That's my internal monologue.
As I think it only stays in the place I cast it, I'll just point cast it every 30 feet across and just burn through my spell slots. But yeah, it's an anti-telepathic field around yourself in a 30-foot location, and any creatures... a creature within the area attempting to communicate or gain information using telepathy or limited telepathy, or attempting to cast a spell to detect thought, mind probe, telepathic bond, telepathic message, or telepathy or abilities that work on those spells, must succeed a DC saving.
Which will be against your spellcasting DC.
Yeah.
It was spell resistance, perfect. And each going to wait until you're somewhere to cast it, or are you literally going to burn spell slots?
I am
it's
going
a big
to.
place.
I think just as we're entering, I'll be fine. I won't bother. But as we're starting to get sort of into further backs area,
And where are you going?
I'd like to imagine that there are just rooms. I don't know quite how the Arcanum works, but I imagine there are study rooms.
So yeah,
as
it's called
per se.
so the Arcanumirium, which is its full name is one word. Is it kind of is the University of Magic, but it's a higher state than a university. It's just the most scholarly place. So there's not students. It's literally you only go there if you are magically inclined, and they let you in. And you've been allowed in there. And Lynch is very high up in there, but this is where wizards from old Galerion, they founded this place. It is the highest school of magic or academia of magic in the known universe. People come from all over the universe to try and gain access to the Arcanum. Yes, there probably are study rooms, but everything has a function, and everything is utilized to the best of its prowess and its ability. But you can probably find a nice area that's kind of like a personalized library or a data library, and you go inside and it's this very old theme to it where there's leather chairs, and you think it's a fire, but then you realize it's magic, and someone's cast a produced kind of flame kind of spell in there. There is this nice old-timey librarian-esque feel to this room where everything is still data though in its
the ability to bring up and study and
yes.
Yeah. Would cast the mind one at this point.
Yep.
And then this'll
Yes. Click. Out it comes.
There was a pull.
There it is.
You feel a curiosity, and then you would feel a searching, and then you feel you found what you're looking for, and then there's a pull, and it's up and away from you.
Don't worry, Roy. We know. It's all good. With your permission, Lady Sylph, I would like to instantaneously give you a vast amount of information about this orb that I know.
montage.
And I cast Mind Link.
Okay, so first of all, you need to beat a spell DC for that
You
one.
do now need to. Yeah.
I also needed to beat a spell DC while in there because I was doing stuff, and absolutely devastated that score.
Yeah.
So I think yours is it might be a 16.
It'll be 17.
17.
So do I just need to roll, and is there anything I add to that?
You would add your. Does it say a specific save on there? But it would be will saving throw.
Okay.
Here we go.
Ting.
So different.
19.
You're all good.
Okay.
Cast Mind Link, and I give you every bit of information about the orb, but it comes through. Because Mind Link comes through specifically as visual images and emotional senses, it comes through like a 4D experience, as if you're I think almost like flickers up like a projection, and you see the TJ Squeakerson cut of the Guardian Orb of Avil, and from everything from where we found it, and the kind of the sensation of the pull and the tug as it kind of searches. You would get the shadow element quite a lot coming through, particularly with how like Vorag's blood was engulfed, and then the potential power that was offered with it as well as giving you the image that we saw in Desna's vision of this previous adventuring party with these orbs when that first Vess was dying and the essence was kind of gathered around it. Just everything orb related goes straight to you in a nice 10-minute 4D experience.
Oh, it was a great PowerPoint.
Yeah, I mean, you can convey 10 minutes worth of imagery in that time. It's a fantastic spell.
And that's that.
Interesting.
I have some theories about this orb, but obviously my magical knowledge is incredibly limited. So I was hoping that you would be able to shed some light on the shadow, as it were.
So, knowing about blood magic or saying earlier about blood binding, I'm trying to think what I could figure out to try and answer about this. Could I, with the things from Galerion, or the imagery of the previous party. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. I mean, for starts, would I even know or recognise or even have ever understood who this party might have been if they were famous individuals, or no?
Do you have any idea about what this ritual that they did was?
Yeah. Could I try and roll for seeing if I...
Absolutely. This is like trying to identify, not necessarily a spell, but the kind of thing that this ritual was. You can absolutely give me a mysticism check.
30.
A tasty treat.
I think what's apparent, if you think about the word blood binding, you think about the images you have now been shared, and that helps massively. I would tell you that lowered the DC. You see this vision is conveyed to you in 10 minutes, and you don't see it like they saw it, but like you get enough of it that like you get the understanding of everything that was going on. Because unfortunately, it's whatever you can convey in 10 minutes is kind of the imagery what you get. So it's kind of this like mix of some of it is like it's very descriptive and you see it, and it's I think TJ is very descriptive, and I think you would see a lot of it, which is why I think it definitely lowers the DC.
There's a lot of like solar flare, and there's a lot of like star whites.
Yeah, it's a lot of media marketing.
Yeah,
but the ritual they are talking about is definitely a sealing magic. Whoever this party was, this Demai, this elf, this Lashunta, this Vesk, they went to Avil specifically to seal away whatever that creature, that bug-like creature that had that bone mask, They went to go seal it away. You were described. You have been described the doors. This vision of, this imagery of the lizards and iron birds in the sky fighting insect-like creatures that's on this door. That, when described, somewhat resemble the swarm and the creatures of the swarm, not this original bug-like race. And the lizards are very Vesk-like when you put together lizards and Vesk, which are essentially a type of lizard person. You have been described the door opening to show shadow from TJ with a recent vision they had. And you just think back to the fact that this room that they were in, when they originally bought this creature and prized the mask from it, has been bisected in half. And now this wall, or these doors, are in its place with this imagery on it. Not unlike a prophecy. And that comes to fruition. You were like, I mean, doors with this kind of depiction would usually be, as far as magic's concerned, especially with a binding ritual, maybe how or when they unlock or open. And then you think to the words keystone, and you think to the fact that you've been described these now statues that stand in place that hold these other orbs. These orbs were the catalyst to that ritual, but it couldn't be done without sacrifice, without a blood binding. One that wasn't predicted by the sounds of it. So when the Vesk was dying and agreed to lend their essence, and you were told about this Demai crying their eyes out, this Vesk was used as the binding.
To then open the doors.
To originally seal them. So, because that happened before those doors were in place, it happened when that mask was placed on the throne, when the creature had vanished. They then used that blood and it went into that keystone, and those, in that flash of green and white, the throne room had been bisected, and this now wall of imagery is in its place. These statues. It's definitely a ritual that seals away a creature, whether it's into a tomb or something else, you're not sure, but something that it can't get out of.
Okay, so it's still potentially alive, but somewhere.
Maybe,
but
without knowing what that creature was.
Yeah. Could I, from that, maybe guess that? Oh, but why take Vorak's blood as well? To seal away something else?
Or to maintain it, or break it. I confess, I don't know how much validity there is to this, because again, my magic knowledge is very limited, but I've been concerned that perhaps there are multiple essences within this orb, not just one. The sentience is obviously something different and intriguing, but if part of this shadow resides in the orb, is perhaps the essence of the sacrifice there as well, keeping it held.
So the spirits or essences within the orb, one would be this bug-like creature, and one would be this Vesk.
That was my thought.
And potentially your former crewmate as well.
You can give me a mysticism check on that.
All right. It's a 20. It's a really hard to read dice.
I need to find some old notes.
Going back.
I'm in my first set of notes.
Vintage.
Some way back, huh?
Way back when?
also want to know, I've seen these gates before in something.
Yeah.
I feel I might know where they might be, but... That's a trip to another planet.
Yay! All the way around.
You can go for a big old trip.
Meanwhile, what's Kaz doing to prepare for his date?
Oh, God.
Brushing his hair,
Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't had a shower since.
ironing the collar of your trench coat.
He's definitely had a shower by now.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know.
What's he wearing?
His trench coat, obviously.
And
Nothing else.
Just trench coat, buttoned up, ready for the
Surprise!
reveal.
Just a pair of goggles.
I think he might have got a haircut.
Kaz? Umbra.
What, long hair to short hair?
Nothing. That's usually how it goes when you have a haircut. Sorry, that was shit.
Love it.
I don't think it's like a massive change, but like at the minute it's just kind of been like also brushed back, and it's like getting to the point where it's like bottom of the neck. It's getting a little bit too like rat-taily kind of thing. It's like, come on.
Buzzcut.
So no, I'm not going.
Short back and sides.
I think he's still keeping a bit of that sweet, like straight back kind of thing, but he's going to keep the sides and back shorter. So he's just a bit more trim, you know.
Good,
So I think he might have a
Face shave?
Trim. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah. Is he growing like a beard?
I don't know if Strix can even grow beards, to be fair. I think they can. They can.
Kaz
It's probably a bit Miley. Well, me can't grow a bit for shit.
because of all the torture.
Yeah.
Distress hair.
Distress.
Oh my god.
Oh.
I think he'll like attempt to freshen up, like try and find some aftershave in a nearby shop. Because he doesn't wear it or anything, so he's like, I guess this will do.
I feel this is like baby's first outing. Like, you're going to shave, and then instead of putting aftershave on, you're going to like put perfume on, and it's going to like sting, and you're going to be like, ah!
I imagine
This is what people do?
That's exactly what it's like.
TJ will like send you out a little message being like, you can go to my bunk, there's a whole little care package in there, and there's like shampoo, cologne, there's like a comb in there. It's a full little like array of stuff he's just nicked from other people. It's a nice little package.
Oh my god.
Can have a little blue foundation in there as well.
There probably is still like some of Calix's makeup that he borrowed at one point.
Oh no. Hey, legitimately bought that makeup.
Yeah.
Legitimate.
Oh, sweet baby Calix.
Oh, he's not going to be baby soon.
He's gonna be big boy. Big fragile boy.
So fragile. Oh, he's going to explode.
I think TJ will probably get a message from Kaz saying, where is the best place for a date, do you think?
Oh,
There's a coffee shop on the corner.
I'll give you
I thought about that, but I was like...
Give you the name of like a nice cocktail bar in the Spire, in the Free Market even. That's kind of like mid-range but nice vibes, kind of very cozy, like dimly lit atmosphere.
And I'm really kind of thinking somewhere a bit more private, only because she's used to wearing a disguise.
TJ will make a booking for you.
A booking?
For a private booth.
Right.
Okay, do you remember where you guys... I mean, this is talking as if Calix was here.
Sure.
Do you remember where it had the bacteria wang?
Yes.
Well, you were in the Hastoki Heights, and it was like a thing overlooking Hastoki Heights.
Yeah.
That was like a raised higher like restaurant cafe.
It's still a public space though, wasn't it?
Again, TJ will book you a private room
Private room.
in a little booth that's tucked away in a corner somewhere.
Such a matchmaker. Aren't you?
Yes.
I cannot find the exact words. Do you remember Vorag's grandfather
Yes.
and the words they said to you when you found their ghost?
Oof, Jesus.
Oh God, hang on. That would have been
I probably did not
way
know
back
that.
here.
So I've got the bits where you find them through the door and it says, basically like the Iron Claw of Retribution will have its revenge and I'll take all of you scum with me, basically.
Yes.
But then there was another bit that I remember I didn't say at the time, but I should have said, and I had to retcon it. I remember saying it out loud in those episodes. And I read it from somewhere, because it's something I had written down pre-campaign. But it's really annoying that I can't find it, because you actually have stumbled upon something that I want to give you.
I don't know that I have his wording, I'm afraid.
I wonder if it's in Vorag's backstory.
I've just got the Iron Fist of Retribution!
Yeah, definitely didn't write his thing down.
No.
100% didn't.
And it was still about borrowing power to defeat the swarm. I love these notes.
I do apologise. I thought I had that in a very specific place.
One of my notes is killed alien lad.
Lads!
I think that was the spider crab thing, brain crab
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Oh!
Killed the alien lad.
Alien lad. Oh no! Was it? It was that other thing that came across. It was like jumping around and on all the crates and stuff.
Oh, the swarm thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That alien lad.
That was that alien lad.
Yes.
Because that was pre-meeting
Yes.
Grandpappy.
Grandpapa.
Yes, yeah.
Grandpapa.
Grandpapa.
There was a reference in that particular, let's call it a prophecy, to the blood of the Iron Claw of Retribution.
So it must be a certain bloodline.
It's not Vorag's bloodline.
And I think I will let you know that you probably pieced that together, that at the time you were like, come on, Vorag, you talked about the Iron Claw, that's your thing. And you think about Scarrock Kassar and their dependency on this orb for so long, and you think about the Red Vesk in the Vision and how similar they now kind of look, and you think about Vorag's abilities, how he'd never seen the orbs but still had these abilities, and then you think about the orb claiming Vorag's blood.
Yeah.
Vorag's blood is key to unlocking.
So we need to go and find another Vesk.
Not the same.
No, you think
No,
it's
I
got
think
what it needs.
It's because it felt satiated afterwards.
Ah.
Like he was tenacious about getting that blood.
Yeah.
So do you think there's maybe 3 Vesk in there?
I don't think so.
What did you roll out mysticism? 20, wasn't it?
20, yeah.
You don't think that they're housing different consciousnesses? You certainly haven't felt
No.
anything else other than Roy. The blood binding, it's just blood is a very specific key ingredient. It's individual to family lines. And if that's tied to magic, then that needs to be the same. The blood binding, it needs Kassar blood. It's got Kassar blood. Therefore, and you think to the wording, the child of retribution, which is in that prophecy you heard, Vorag's potentially the child of retribution.
Good or bad thing?
I suppose good that it's got what it needs to be sealed for now.
Okay.
All three.
All 3.
It's used to both lock it and unlock it.
Yes.
This has been a growing concern with me. If we are meddling with things with what we don't know, are we accidentally going to unleash something into the worlds?
Because you don't know what's inside this orb, particularly as it's the only one apparently sentient.
Precisely.
So, how did something sentient get in? Could have been this binding spell.
And Roy's got no idea because he's pre-gap. Bit useless, aren't you, Roy?
Almost a shame of Mirrorfire.
Yes. But, I mean, I think that ascension probably would have got a bit out of hand quite quickly. Realistically,
Probably.
yes, Lady Sylph, yes, it would have. I know you were excited to see it, but...
I mean,
Could have brought about interesting things.
give me another mysticism check.
It's getting worse and worse.
Oh no.
That's an 18.
It's not awful though. You think about this ascension ritual and how Nerifire wanted these orbs, but she specifically said another individual is bound to them. And you think about the words that she said with Octurne and with these orbs being able to bind a creature to the womb of a planet. The creature's not in the orb. You don't think it is, but it's certainly able to manifest a level of consciousness with it. And if it can do that, and Nerifire needed to get rid of them because it was already occupying, then Nerifire is going to use the orbs to birth herself into the womb of Octurne, into where this god is gestating. She was potentially going to do that work for you and take the orbs and dispatch of whatever this being was, and then use the orbs as a way to get into Octurne. And that's, I think, with an 18, a pretty good guess.
Do we know what planet those insect race came from?
We found all this information on Avil. Did we find out
talking
what
about
planet they were from? With
did
the
look.
Gatey Gates.
More dingy, I think it was. You're talking about husks? Husk?
Husk anybody?
Free husk.
So Mordengi's one of the planets in the Able system.
Yeah. Because I've got Husk, Barren Rock. Yeah.
The creatures, from what you've learned so far that I'm aware of, are from that planet. Avil was the home planet to the bugs,
Yeah.
but now they are no more. And you saw in your vision that happened you're not sure how long of a time that was, but they went from being a verdant planet of this bug race to essentially Mars and like Geonosis combined looking arid planet where this one singular bug creature with this bone mask resided. And actually, because you're tying into something else there, not too dissimilar to whatever Nerifire was before, there was a whole civilization of people, and they just weren't there another day. And you saw that in a vision of this swooping lich, pre-Nerifira, in these memories that this memory core had that had found their way into the CPU, and then all of a sudden, no more people on that planet, just the lich.
Was it similar to the swarm?
No swarm. Like, whatever happened to those people, you're getting the sense that whatever these beings are that end up being the last surviving one may have done it to them. You think about... I mean, I'll give you another mysticism
I'm
check.
so
No,
sorry.
this is...
I feel like my brain is being so slow today.
No.
I'm just like...
The reason I'm asking for mysticism is because you keep landing on stuff that you're in more than...
Nat 20, it's 36.
Oh, yeah.
And you think about the lich and their need for a soul, and you think this creature, this bug-like creature, is a lich of some kind. They're not the only ones in the galaxy. Other people turn to undead, and harvesting souls is vital to a lich, and they have harvested their planet dry.
Okay.
Scooped out the gizzards and left nothing.
And that's what Octurne is as well.
Yes.
Hey, take one of those.
So, I'm not sure I deserve one, but okay.
You absolutely do, because you are pulling on threads that then leads to another thread, and you are uncovering lore about the history of something that's been in since pre-campaign.
I feel like my brain is just...
No, because the thing is, you're on a mystery hunt as it is, but you are following the right trail. And I'm giving you that cred stick because you have basically uncovered that is a lich, that they have clearly devoured their own people's souls to the detriment of their own people and just for power, not unlike whatever Nerifira was before she became that AI.
She was an elf, wasn't she? From what I remember you saying.
Potentially.
And one of the people who had the orb was an elf.
A high elf, yes.
You think there's any link there?
I think Calyx was looking into something around that.
This bug. Friend of yours.
Space Jesus, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I know Calyx was particularly interested in the Iodara.
The gates.
Indeed. So we saw in our gifted vision this monastery built from Iodara. I think I've got it that it was a village near a coast. There were high elves standing in front of this Iodara, and it opened up onto a planet of red dirt and jungle canopy, which is where these bug-like creatures were. This insectoid with 3 arms. They went away for hundreds of years, but came back with this group that then obviously did this ritual, but they met the same mage as before, which might then be this lich creature. But this world had become void of life, undead, which is where we had the shadow mask thing happening. But it was, yes, there was the same high elf. There was a Demai, a Lashanta, and so I'm just going through my script in process. And a Vesk. And it was the Vesk that was dying. It had a great battle with this bone-masked creature.
It's safe to say that this bone mask creature is not dead.
Oh, don't say
Be somewhere.
I mean, that's what's sealed behind
this.
I think I'm not even going to make you give a guess. You have got to the point, whatever that creature is behind that door.
Behind the door.
I think to the things I've said in the past 10 minutes.
Right.
So we've got the door is prophesizing
that it will be open again.
That it will be opened again
by blood of one of 4 eggs line.
The blood is contained within the orb.
So, should we go to Avil, do this? We may be opening a door.
Indeed. We would, I think, though, need all... There were multiple plinths around in this particular area. We would need all, I think, to open it, including with the keystone.
So, we open the keystone and find this other orb, but also then open this door to where this lich is, potentially.
Well, no, there is a library on Demalco where the other orb is. We know that the other orb is with the Shadow Captain. So we open the door. It might be the only way to either kill the lich completely or release it. But if it's prophesied that this is happening, is it already writ? Is it already set in, pardon the phrasing, stone?
Prophecies can be self-fulfilling sometimes. Sometimes if we believe they are to happen, they happen because we believe they are. Although it sounds like it's probably going to. And liches are best dealt with and not left to just dally around wherever they are.
Yes, quite agree. Because then awful corporate companies come and turn them into really bad beings and massacre their staff and employees.
Yes, I do feel rather sorry for Nerifira in many ways.
So do I.
She was
hard done by. She was just doing what she was built to do.
She was chasing something that she was maybe blind. But anyway.
This has been a lot, hasn't it?
So in this moment, where do we go from here?
I want to also find if there's any Iodara about, or finding these kind of gates.
Ayudara.
Their sort of link, and has anyone linked and mapped them? Probably not, but...
Not fully mapped them, no. The main people that would know that, give me a culture. I'm really sorry to say that the audio cut out on us for this part of the episode. Luckily you didn't miss much, and it's just a case that Tamsin rolled alright on a culture check, and she found out that the gates and the Ayudara aren't overly mapped by the Elves of Castrovel, and it's going to be hard to work out where each one goes and why. Also, that there is an area of the station called Fardock, which has this large portal-like Mobius strip gate in it that is not an Ayudara, and that it basically has killed tons of people, and it is guarded by these Fardock sentries, these constructs that are made of the same sort of stone and material, but also that can wield lances made out of the same energy. However, the brave people who have tried to get past these and touch the Fardock have ended up being turned into strips of meat. Otherwise, that's all you missed in this section just here. Thank you, and we'll get back to the show. Okay, on with the Ayudara. So there is one here in Fardock, and the Elves of Castrovel are known for having created the Ayudara and sent them throughout the galaxy to explore. And this is was a common practice, but it's less common these days. I'm guessing a minute with time lapse. Okay, that should be fine. I don't think. Yeah, you're not going to know how far and wide they're mapped, and I think that is null and void. But Fardock is known for having this Ayudara that's ready, but also another object which basically has to be guarded because people want to touch it. But when people touch it, sometimes they disappear, sometimes they die, sometimes they... I'll actually bring it up because it's a...
mystery object?
Yeah. Some people call it the Godstone, some people call it... and Fardock is the actual name of the object that's there, and it's what it was named after. I'm just going to find the item. So it's in the arms, and it is a... Where is it? Because it's really fun. I really want you to go there. So...
Is it like a star stone for the Ayudara?
No, it's something separate. That's really annoying that I can't bring that up right now. But it is this object, this item that this whole area is named after. Is that people sometimes call it the Godstone because they think it ascends people to different powers. Other people touch it out of curiosity and just die. And it's supposed to just wield this unknown power, and it has to be guarded, or else people just get too curious. And it's like, don't press the big red button.
Watch the cogs turn there.
It's genuinely written into Starfinder lore.
Well, I'm going to go for a walk.
I'm going to go touch the button, aren't you, Lady Sable?
I'm kind of tempted.
This was most illuminating.
Indeed.
I'm glad we had this chat.
So standing 20 feet tall, this stone archway twists like a Mobius strip. And it's always slightly out of focus. Its surface occasionally manifesting alien runes that crest and disappear like surfacing dolphins. Inside the archway is a plane of flat green light. To either side of a mysterious portal stands a massive far guard. Two seemingly robotic stone automatons that are vaguely humanoid, but with features of an alien lion and serpent, respectively. Able to generate powerful lancers of the same green energy that the archway produces, these guards immediately attack anyone who comes within 40 feet of the archway. Yet even these daredevils who've managed to make it past the far guards and into the plane of green find it turning an angry purple, a glow matched by the revealed runes before being blasted backwards as streams of bloody meat. Where Fardock leads to, what might have emerged from it is a secret, or is indeed, if it's even possible, to be a portal, but that is Fardock.
Sylph's last act in life will be to go through that.
Splendor. But
sounds amazing.
So that's the sort of information you get from that.
Yeah.
As we look towards the end of this episode. What do we see now?
Would you like me to look up anything to do with these, or...?
I think this has been a huge amount of information, which has been incredibly useful. I'm kind of waiting on Dara's Day to get back with his stories, because I think that might put some more things into place. But anything you want to research around this, have at.
Will do. I don't guarantee Lynch won't have done things, but...
It's Lynch, innit?
She can be fun.
I'm sure she can.
And it's like this camera pans away, and we like go up through the levels, and we see like Kaz, Tony Stark in it on the ship.
No, he's getting ready for his date now.
He's getting his date. He's got cologne on.
Yeah. I've had my hair cut, nice and trim. I don't have the goggles with me. It's just me.
Just Kaz.
Innocent Kaz.
We see Felena in regular Strix form. Like, hi. Your eyes are so there.
Don't let this be the interaction.
No.
He got his haircut and everything.
No, she wouldn't do that.
Paper bag.
You wear this. No, she genuinely doesn't even bat an eyelid at them. And you wear your scars well. And the scene closes as we watch them walking towards... Are you going to a bar? Or are you going to the cinema?
I will make my way to the reservation that TJ's made
TJ's
for
put
me.
them in a private booth.
Where?
At the same place that we had Bacteria Wang.
What, in the Law Spire complex?
No.
In the free market.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
The nice little cocktail bar place.
It had that bit above.
The veranda. Yeah.
It was looking over the Hastoki Heights.
I don't know what it's called. Tricky Pete's franchise.
It's under new franchise and it's called Méchant Pierre,
Mission Pierre.
which is Tricky Pete.
And with that, we just see like this, like, and yeah, like you just see them walking into Mission Pierre as we close down this session. Sorry about the cut there. I don't think you missed us talking about anything other than the Iodora and Fardock. I'll double check back on the episode, and if so, I'll put it into the opening of the next episode and whatnot. Otherwise, thank you so much if you're here on YouTube and on podcast. We're going to close down these videos. If you're on Twitch or if you are on YouTube members, you can check out the Drift Debrief, which we'll be doing in just a moment. Otherwise, thank you so much to those of you on YouTube and podcast. We'll see you next time. May the dice gods be ever in your favour. See you around, guys.
See you later.